The boy flashes a 100 yen coin and everyone panics, calling him a billionaire. This happened because overnight, the world economy crashed by 1,000,000%. Everyone lost everything except this one guy. With a single yen, he bought Starbucks for the whole line. He suddenly owned a hotel and a restaurant too. The guy felt unstoppable. Beast living in Lebanon. Now he's rich. Every girl wanted his money and chased him. The manager, who ignored him before, went to his door and fulfilled his wishes. He knew what was up and made the most of the situation. He played soccer with her for 6 hours, leaving her exhausted by morning. A streamer tried using him for cash, but he outplayed her and sent her packing. A female detective acted like she was on a case but came over to woo him. While dodging flirty girls, he helped out lots of people too. The MC exposed a corrupt employee and wrecked a mafia ring inside a company. That scandal got splashed all over the nation. Some thugs tried stealing in an old restaurant, but the hero stopped them easily. Today, this guy is like Tony Stark, but he wasn't always winning. He used to be broke and stuck with a gold digger. Kawasaki Masa wanted him to sell his house and use it to prove his love. Who does she even think she is? Sydney Sweeney. Yuto, blinded by love, promised her he'd fix it. While working at a coffee shop, Yuto found out she planned to marry, get pregnant, and leave him. He collapsed in the locker room, shattered and sobbing, but then fate finally cut him a break. Showering at rock bottom, Yuto heard a weird voice talk about the world's money flipping upside down. All value crashed by 1,000,000% except Yuto's cash, which kept stacking up daily. Yuto thought he was crazy and just tuned it out. But on the bus, when he asked the fare, everyone cracked up at using yen to pay. He was baffled, but stood his ground. A businessman doubted a broke kid had that kind of money, but after seeing his 100 yen coin, everyone freaked out. Yuto was loaded. Realizing he was the last rich guy, Yuto rushed to the bank with his cash. Saying he wanted to deposit 100,000 yen made the teller freeze, immediately sending him to a VIP suite. Suddenly, his ex shows up with a wealthy old man. Seeing Yuto, Misa asked if he's borrowing for her again. Uto, cool as ice, said he'd never waste a yen marrying trash like her. Ouch. The old man tried to show off, using his power to order Yuto kicked out, but now Yuto outranked them all. He's ultra VIP, so the old man's the one who got booted. Suddenly, Misa tried grabbing Yuto's thigh, realizing he was loaded, but Yuto totally couldn't care less about her now. After the deposit and dumping Misa, Yuto headed to pick up Saki at the airport. Saki is super close to Yuto, more like a sister than a friend. They grab some ice cream together. Some old friends of Saki tried to mock her for hanging with a broke guy. Just then, a system popped up a mission: spend 1 yen in 2 hours, get a power bonus. The so-called rich kids couldn't understand why everyone was dashing off. At Starbucks, they learned Yuto paid for coffee for everyone. The thugs were shook, refusing to drink anything meant for commoners. The crowd heard and burned with rage. They hated being treated like dirt. Mission done, he got a pill as his bonus. It tripled his power. A red car stops. Yanagi, his manager, orders him in, reminding him the presentation is at the company. They discuss the project while her hand wandered on his leg. Yuto arrives at work. Agata storms up, dumps his files, and tells him he's fired. Yuto told him to pick the stuff up himself. Agata raised his hand like he was about to strike Yuto. Yuto caught his hand and nearly crushed all his fingers with his new strength. Another executive appeared and confirmed Yuto was off the project. Yanagi slammed the table, insisting Yuto present his own project. Agata swore revenge and exited, grumbling. Somewhere else, a woman hears the wedding gift is a total of 8 million yen. The boy says he saved for 11 years just for this, but can't add another 1.6 million. The mother says he's too extreme. She wants sincerity before giving up her daughter, and that means cash. That chubby girl in back is our hero's girlfriend, Kawasaki Masa. Her father, Yoshio, tells the boy to sell his inherited apartment for the money. Yuto refuses to sell his father's things, and Tammy, the mother, snaps that he must not really love her daughter. She begs her mother to stop, then steps up to Yuto. Downstairs, she asks if he really can't get the 1.6 million and insists he needs a fix. He asks for her to understand. He's flat broke, but that relentless woman promises it'll be worth it. Unbelievable. Then she says to get a loan from a shark, claiming it's tough to date someone so broke. Our hero looks sharp but still gets pushed around by women. Life is tough. He gives in. Fine, I'll try to find the cash. He warns, once he has it, they'll wed. She makes him promise, then the story jumps to a cafe. Friends ask why he's eating just that. He says saving up matters more than a meal. Close by, his fiancée chats with a friend. She likely doesn't know Yuto is there. The girl wants to know where Masa's money went. Wasn't she set to marry a millionaire, the son of a company owner? Masa snaps that the guy was a jerk who only gave her 100,000. Her friend asks about the new guy. She says he's even worse. He's got a building from his dad's will but refuses to sell it and give her the cash. Her friend, sounding puzzled, wonders what next. Masa then reveals she's pregnant, so now she has to marry this guy, but whatever. After the baby, she'll divorce him and grab half his inheritance. Lovely. So noble. Poor Uto is losing it, furious and confused. She hasn't figured out he's he's the fool yet and orders him to get water. He refuses to turn around, so she bangs the table and demands an answer. He collapses while she hurls insult. In the break room now, he is crouched in tears. His phone buzzes with a request to pick up someone called Saki at the airport. He agrees since his shift just ended. Now he's crying in the shower, completely wrecked, raging that all she cares about is money. Money's all that matters to her. Suddenly, a simple system pops up. It says a lifetime of misery twisted the world, depreciating everything by 1,000,000%. Meanwhile, his money's safe and even grows 5% daily, giving him 5,000 yen extra. Yuto thinks a lunatic is pranking him and leaves. He takes the bus and asks for the yen fare to the airport. People start cracking up, acting like paying bus fares in yen is wild. Two guys behind him mutter that earning 100 sen a month is decent now. For the record, a sen is 1/100th of a yen. Yuto's lost, confused why straight talk is a joke. Bus fare used to be about 1,000 yen. He insists the driver name the price so he can pay. Then a suited guy stops him, telling him to quit acting rich, talking yen like that. Given his outfit, the guy thinks Yuto's broke. Yu writes it off as the whole crowd being nuts, because he's sure he has 200 yen for the fare. The man laughs, calls him insane to claim 200 yen. Anyone with those clothes couldn't have it. Tired of Yuto's act, he orders him to sit down. He'll spot Yuto, the two send far. Yuto looks for hidden cameras, thinking it's a prank, but sees none. The driver urges him to hurry up. Yuto fishes out 2 seni coins and says, "Here." Everyone's stunned, eager to know how he owns so much. The suit thinks they're fake, not possible for a kid his age. Now Yuto, recalling that voice, starts to believe it's true. He offers 1 coin to the driver, asking for any change. But the driver admits it's impossible. Making change for that sum would be very hard. They'd need the company boss involved. Right then, he gets it. His 100 yen is now wildly valuable and broke folks would do anything for it. Wanting to keep his head down, he gets off the bus. And at that moment, a new phone was just 1 cent. Even designer bags cost only 17. A Rolex was just 1 yen. He's totally lost, unsure what to do with his 10,000 yen. Looks like nobody takes them, so maybe a trip to the bank is next. His number gets called soon. The bank clerk greets him, ready to help. He simply says he wants to make a small deposit. She asks how much. He says it's 100,000 yen and wants a new online account. She looks stunned, says that sum is a lot, and will call the manager. They start checking his notes. She comes back nervously, saying, "Unbelievable, these bills are real." The system tells him money is used differently now. 1 yen is a sensen written as sen, and 1 cent is 1,000 ren. Yeah, it's messy. Basically, one is worth 100 times the other. Later, in the VIP room, he asks if his notes check out. The woman confirms it did, and his 100,000 yen deposit is in. But she double checks if he wants to deposit all of it. He says yes, but to keep 3 yen since he needs a little spare. Suddenly, the door bursts open. Masa enters, dragging an old man, announcing she did what she promised and took this fool as her husband. Now that she's married, things feel even wilder. Yeah, it really is her. Somebody needs to bring her back to reality. The old man grins at her, bragging that stealing another man's wife is a rush. Yuto crosses his arms, saying he never thought she could stoop this low. She's thrown off, asking if he's here because of that loan she pushed. He's blunt, saying he'd never waste the yen marrying someone like her. She just shrugs, showing no shame. She's too hot for one guy. Having both a husband and boyfriend feels normal. Yeah, she's that meme now. He just stands and calls her the worst, leaving since he's done depositing. But the bank clerk interrupts him, saying the regional manager wants a word. Meanwhile, the old man tells him not to leave yet. He says Yuto insulted the girl and won't simply slip away. Clearly ready to fight, Yuto says if he wants trouble, just say so. But the old man laughs, claiming Yuto doesn't get who he is, president of the famous Tenryo group, who paid stacks and taxes. He could freeze every one of Yuto's accounts instantly. Security approaches, but the old man declares it's time the kid got tossed. Then the guard says, Yuto's a top VIP. Just then, Buck the Suit enters awkwardly, introduces himself as regional administrator, and says, "Great to meet you." Impressed by that massive 100,000 yen deposit, Bukdasu gives Yuto a diamond black card. Yuto thanks him as the ex, and the old guy grumble that he must have faked those bills. The ex jumps in, confirming it's true. She knows he's broke, but Bukdasu snaps back, saying no one should doubt process money. They'll need to rethink working with the old man. The old fool begs them not to do this, saying if his assets freeze, he's ruined. Meanwhile, the woman hugs Yuto's leg, claiming she picked the wrong side, always thinking he was better. He coldly tells the manager to kick her out. Moments later, the old man is thrown out. At the airport, Yuto worries he's late and Saki's waiting. He's sure she's tired of waiting. Suddenly, someone touches his thigh. A vivacious girl teases him, saying he owes her for making her wait. He quickly apologizes, promising to buy her anything. She just wants ice cream, and he melts, thinking she's likable as always. While considering drinks, he mentions Starbucks, but she says airport cafes are a ripoff. Good to know. Overpriced airport food is universal. Crooks everywhere. A guy bumps Yuto and calls himself Saki's classmate, saying he'll cover them, since Yuto looks broke. His buddies roar, insisting on it. Yu asks Saki if she even knows these guys. She answers that they met yesterday and are new university classmates. Still, clutching Yuto's arm, she ushers them away, saying, "Those guys are creepy." Shinji threatens she'll regret turning him down, and his mate tells him to give up trying to help losers. Just then, a side quest lands for Yuto. He has 2 hours to spend 1 yen for a big physical boost. He flicks a coin, grins, and thinks it's the ideal chance. Meanwhile, the clinging girl fumes, telling Shinji to drop Yuto and Saki. She suddenly whines her throat is dry, and the guy jumps up to grab her a drink. Honestly, maybe I'm overthinking it, but that sounded suspiciously loaded. Suddenly, a crowd rushes by, shoving Shinji. He shouts at them, but nobody bothers to listen. Nearby, 2 girls giggle about how Starbucks is handing out free drinks. The 3 idiots are stumped. Yu checks if everything is free, and the cashier says yes, for now. A big-hearted customer paid for everything. Our boy shrugs and says, "It's scorching out. Let's treat ourselves to iced coffees." Saki's loving the moment until Shinji snaps, demanding to know what Yuto's up to. Yuto waves him off, cool as ever, offering to pay for him too. Shinji rejects it, saying he's no charity case who needs free Starbucks. Bad move. Now everyone's staring daggers at him. Shinji lashes out, hissing at Yuto to stop acting rich when he's never even left the country. But for once, the crowd's on point. They tell the rich guy to shut it and leave since he's not buying anything. Chaos erupts. He gets stomped. That's Starbucks loyalty. Now he's just wrecked, laid out on the ground. Someone checks if the girls with him are buddies, but they instantly disown him. Yuto lands his blow. "Don't think you can impress my sister with pocket change." Man, why did she have to be his sister? Let's pray it's just a friendly sibling thing. Anyway, Yuto and Saki leave. She strides ahead in those tiny shorts, asking if he's fine with the splurge. He doesn't mind. He'd do anything for her safety. Charmer alert. Later, as they wait for a taxi, mission complete. Yuto collects his reward, though he barely managed to spend a yen. Buying everyone coffee didn't cut it. He invested elsewhere and scored a strength-boosting pill. Saki wonders why their taxi still isn't here. A red car rolls up. She gushes at how cool it looks. Black-haired girl asks what Matt Schweem is doing around. Yuto answers manager Yanagi that he's picking up his sister for university. Seems this woman's from work and significant. She reminds him about his big presentation. Yuto doesn't really need cash, but this project has months of his sweat in it. Saki reassures him, tagging along, saying he should enjoy time next to someone gorgeous. He brushes it off, insisting he and the manager aren't like that. Yanagi asks what's so secret, and Yuto just asks for a ride, thinking he'll never waste a chance to earn more after his broke years. In the car, Yanagi tells him to review his slides, prepare. If he nails this, a fat bonus waits. Yuto knows she's working him, but promises he'll give it his all. This manager, Yanagi, really works. Her hand goes for a mischievous pinch. He tells her to knock it off, but she smirks and says he should be glad for the attention. He admits she's got a point. Soon after, at the company, manager Ootara Kosake orders him to toss everything aside. The protagonist asks what he means by that. The guy says he's taking Yuto's role, so Yuto can stop coming. The guy throws Yuto's stuff down, but Yuto stands his ground, asking for them back. Owata, used to winning, lifts his hand, ready to hit, daring Yuto to fight. Too bad for Owata. Yuto just got much stronger. Yuto grabs Owata's arm and smashes him to the floor. Owata groans, baffled at how someone so weak beat him. Another person steps in. A new higher-up tells Yuto to let go, insisting Yuto lacks enough skills, so Ota will do the project. Yuto protests right away, insisting he created the project and they can't just pass it off. The higher-up is about to shut Yuto down when someone bangs the table, saying, "No way." It's manager Yanagi. "I'm seriously loving Yanagi," saying Yuto should present since he made the project. Owata, defeated and upset, whines about it. Yanagi replies he can't do it. He doesn't even get the project. Anyone so clueless shouldn't present. Owata scowls, threatens, "We'll settle this soon," storms off, and Yanagi comforts Yuto, telling him to get set for the presentation. Even if she's all business, Yuto knows Yanagi actually cares. Later, in the conference room, Yanagi wraps up the presentation. Akira, the vice president, praises them for beating his expectations. Yanagi shakes Yuto's hand, then instantly uses powerful magic to shove him aside. A mustache man brings up debts, saying they'll talk money once the president comes. Yanagi is thrown off. What debts? The sketchy guy walks in, claiming there's trouble paying everyone. He says they owe hundreds of yen and won't be able to cover staff wages. Yanagi won't believe it. She checks costs herself, but he grins, saying the old executives tricked her. All the financial paperwork turns out to be completely fake. Yanagi realizes nothing adds up. Unless they set her up from the start, the man taunts that it's all a simple trap. Yanagi, raging, cries, "It's not fair. She gave her all, how could they?" But the man ignores her and says the company gets sold for 90 yen to his partner. Yanagi breaks down, crying that 90 yen is criminally low. This just exploits the powerless. The smug guy laughs, jeering, "You can't outbid, so why care?" Right then, President Kinoshita walks in. Now thinking back, that mustache guy must own the bank where Yuto put his money. Now they're trading stories about some wild guy in town who risked 100,000 yen. That's when Kanoida spots Yuto and asks why he's there. Right away, the older man enters and asks if Yuto is the kid who put in 100,000 yen. The banker nods. Hunched, the man introduces himself as Kisha, company president, and calls it an honor. Iwata, the airhead, is totally baffled why both presidents are suddenly sucking up to Yuto. The bosses bark at Iwata, telling him to keep out since Yuto deposited 100,000 yen. Yuto asks if they're really about to sell for just 90 yen, but the man awkwardly tries to change the topic. He avoids Yuto, but Yuto pushes back, telling Yanagi they must straighten things out and warns the investors about Iwata's plot to run up debt and dump the company cheap. At once, the investors and bank rep promise they'll investigate. Iwata fakes innocence, but it's too late. Next, the scandal fills the news. Embezzlement revealed. Someone pours wine to celebrate a win. Man, I thought we were at the hotel, but nope, still at the restaurant. Yanugi claims Yuto saved her life, so they should toast. Yuto, the rational one, says she'll run the company now. She blushes, unsure she's ready. She admits she gets tricked easily. She stands, saying if he trusts her, they should toast closer. Then, she trips. Classic move. But our guy saves her like a champ. No awkward fall, she does twist her ankle and tells him to carry her but behave. He lifts her with ease and says all's good. Later, at the hotel, he gently lays her down, saying he's leaving so she can rest. But as he turns, the Cobra Strike begins. Her leg snaps out, snaring him fast in her trap. She smirks and says this time he got caught. But our boy flips it, schools her on top lane Raven, and pulls crazy combos. After several games on Summoner's Rift, they're wiped out. League of Legends really drains you. Yanagi gripes that she can't believe the skinny guy played 6 hours straight. Half collapsed, he blames her for riling him up. If stirring him up counts, she's totally at fault. She's a handful, and since they're on match point for gold, they dive into one more game. While all this happens, night falls and Yuto picks up a new task. Now, he must burn through 50 coins before midnight. He thinks they should invest more, but Yanagi thanks him and shuts him down. Recovering from recent setbacks will level them up for now. She suddenly kisses him, claiming it's the prime way to reward shareholders. Yet out of nowhere, she can't stand and flops to the ground, pointing fingers. He insists she rest for the day, but wobbly-legged, she claims she can at least shuffle around a bit. Yuto calls nap time, but gets a call. Yamaguchi announces his aunt is hospitalized. Soon, we're in the hospital. Yuto sits silently by the old woman's bedside. She whispers she's never felt this horrible before. Yuto calms her, saying she's just exhausted and will recover soon. Yamaguchi, Yuto's close friend, recalls staying there, loving his aunt's cooking, and always cleaning his plate. Now he peels something, maybe a potato, maybe an apple, and offers her a taste. Yamaguchi wanted to ask him for money, but, aware of scandals at Yuto's firm, keeps quiet. At that moment, a rattled nurse hurries in with 2 doctors, muttering about room 42. A bald physician says, Miss Yamaguchi must be transferred right away while her son demands answers. Yuto said he'd pay bills soon, so they can't evict her. But a nurse says a 1 yen mystery donation just came in. Thanks to that tiny donation, she's upgraded to the VIP suite. Yamaguchi is stunned, who donates a single yen. The nurse swears they confirmed it, so the nervous doctors move her like nobility. Thrilled, she declares she wants to stay near these dashing doctors. Just like that, the happy old lady gets whisked away. Now, doctors in the treatment room break into a little dance just for her. Yamaguchi grins at Yuto, saying this must feel unreal. It's exactly what he's been searching for. Yuto instantly punches him in the stomach, almost knocks him out. He forgot his super strength. Yuto tells him this is payback for staying quiet instead of reaching out. Yamaguchi admits he hesitated to ask, but Yuto promises he'll always be there if needed. Say the word. Mission complete, a secret bonus talent is unlocked. My eyes are a ruler, like us. He has no clue what this means, but whatever. Meanwhile, in a VIP room, Yamada Mika wonders if she should call her brother, but the patient tells her not to. He just needs rest after a long flight. He hands her documents, stressing this project is vital for the company and can't fail. Mika's got experience, so he trusts her to get it done. She's determined everything goes smoothly. With that, she heads out, racing to make it to university. Suddenly, an old woman blocks Mika, drops down, and grabs Mika's legs out of nowhere. Then she screams at Mika to watch where she's going. Mika's lost, and strangers accuse her of shoving the woman. A man storms over, pushing for Mika's university so he can report her. Enter Giga Chidudo. He effortlessly steadies Mika, and his new talent flares up. He's scared enough to trigger it. He instantly knows the exact measurements of an F-36. He pauses. No way that's F-36. It's gotta be smaller. The system must be glitching. Meanwhile, the old woman still clings to Mika, wailing for help. Feeling bad, Mika confesses she rushed, maybe bumping her by accident. Yuto warns her not to admit fault, they're setting her up. Mika is baffled. What trap does he mean? Yuto's also trying to figure out his new skill. He tells Mika the old woman dropped down just as Mika was 3 cm away. 3 centimeters is practically nothing, but fine. On top of that, cameras were placed perfectly to frame Mika for hitting her. Yu thinks it's sketchy seeing so many cameras recording from every angle. Mika agrees. It's suspicious. Yu warns her someone could be framing her, so Mika calmly steps forward, apologizes politely, but says she didn't touch the woman. The old lady erupts, calls Mika shameless, and insists the cameras caught everything. Mika shrugs, says, let's check the hospital's footage. They'll slow it way down and spot the exact fall. As soon as she threatens that, those scammers bolt. She was sure they were fakes. Yuto asks if tech like that is real, but the crafty girl admits she lied. She honestly didn't know where any cameras were. Both admit they're a bit cheeky. Seems the next con won't go down easy. She introduces herself as Yamada Mika and thanks him. He offers a handshake, but she turns away, says visit her at university if he wants. Yu wonders if the girl isn't shady herself. It's odd to invite someone out so suddenly. He checks the time, already 6 p.m. Back home, he watches live streams to unwind. Every Chinese story has streamer duels with rich donors tossing cash. I always wonder, do these head-to-head donation battles actually happen in China? Never seen it anywhere else. Now there's a girl hyping up Kari, blowing kisses. Kumatan, another, begs for votes. Ketty grins, confident she'll win, asks what punishment awaits the loser. Since she's a gamer, maybe make her play using her feet. Yuto's my eyes are a ruler ability clicks on. After watching a while, he comments the girl's legs look good, but they seem off. Maybe it's just a warped table. Yukachi fires back, furious. Says he's making stuff up since she's had that body the whole stream. She probably meant since birth, right? Not from the stream start. Not from birth either. She grew up, clearly. I still don't get why he got insta-banned. She goes right back to dancing, and you know the routine. Our boy's ready to cause chaos. If one streamer blocks him, he'll just talk to the other. Kaiten panics. The battle's almost over, and she needs backup now. Suddenly, someone drops 5 yachts on her. Both girls freak out, even if the yachts probably cost a few cents. With that, Kumatan totally takes control of the battle. She's thrilled in the shower, overflowing with thanks. Yukachi narrows her eyes, realizing Yuto was the one she just banned. She throws out wild dance moves, desperate to hang on, but defeat is clear. Yuto drops 10 more yachts for Kumatan, shattering her chances. Bear Girl celebrates and calls for punishment while our guy slaps a public message on all streams, warning Yukachi that blocking won't save her. The frantic girl bows, apologizes fast, and promises she'll accept punishment. Yuto gets messages from Kumatan, actually Minhan, though Morinhan sounds adorable. She thanks him for the cash, says she can't offer anything, but offers a refund if he wants. Yuto figures she's panicking over the cash, but doesn't care, telling her to relax. She spots his address, Musashi area, and hints at dinner together. He's hyped, knows girls like her chase cash, but if dinner's on her, he's eager to see her game. At Marin's place, her room is designer bag heaven, and her mom nags about feeling ignored. Marin walks out and claims streaming is legit work, and now she's here for mom time. Her mom fires back that Marin earns plenty, so streaming isn't needed. She points to Marin's necklace. It's worth 43 yen, which streaming will never cover. Marin just teases, says she streams for fun, not profit. She adds, she met someone interesting today, and mom warns her off live stream people. Mom insists Marin's arranged to marry a company owner's son. Marin protests but is sent to dad. Later, our boy hits the city, craving izakaya drinks. Beer with fried chicken would totally hit the spot. He heads out. At the place, someone pleads for time, behind on rent. A woman in curlers snaps that she doesn't hand out charity. No money? Then get lost. No pay? She'll take his kitchen gear no matter what he says. She sent her bargain basement thugs to swipe everything already. He begs, insisting a big order just came in and he'll have cash soon. They shove him aside anyway. That's when someone grabs the thug's shoulder. Yuto steps in. The thug freezes. Yuto asks if he owns the place and for the rent price. The lady just asks who Yuto is, and then if he'll pay for the guy. She reminds him she was generous out of pity. But since things are changing, she must hike the rent. The owner complains she always raises the price. She's unfazed. She owns every shop and charges a major company 2 yen monthly. Yu calls someone, as she smugly says she'll let him stay for 1 yen monthly. He rings Fujiwara, thanks him, and tells her not to bother talking with him now. She's baffled, asking what Uto's planning. She claims he's powerless since she owns all the property. She tells her thugs to toss everyone, but Yuto's crane move drops both guys flat. The woman panics at Yuto's moves and urgently dials the cops. Then Yuto calmly drops the news. She only has usage rights, not real ownership. He reveals he actually just bought everything. Eyes turn, all waiting for his next move. Now trembling, the woman demands Yuto's intentions. Yuto is set to flatten everything and upgrade the whole place. No one would dare rent here after that, obviously. He shrugs. A few hundred yen means nothing now, but she's freaking out. Instantly, she drops down and pleads for mercy. This is not the kind you welcome. She offers half off rent and will cover water water? Yuto is in if that's true. Shout out to the wild dev who made me twist my screen just to read. Feels just like taking on gritty corporations. Looks like Yuto just unlocked a talent for spotting scams, while the fried chicken guy is serving free food, declaring Yuto's meal is on the house. Yuto thanks the old man, saying he loves this place and plans to come by more often. The old man smiles, explaining the special family recipe makes their food unforgettable, not bragworthy. Then someone snarks about a millionaire liking street food. Ms. Wobbly Legs jokes at least it tastes great. Yuto grumbles inside, thinking she has no clue how much he actually paid for that chicken. He brings the skewer close but smells something odd, while she completely misreads it, thinking he's sniffing her. She smirks, teasing Yuto to just come to her place instead if he wants to smell her. Yuto ignores her flirting, changing topics to mention he brought her here to discuss his new company idea. She jumps in, asking if she'll be a secretary, calling it perfect. Yuto says he hasn't decided yet, but wants to open an investment firm nearby. She beams, insisting she'll help him scout the place because she knows every inch of the city. She then orders more takeout as Yuto blushes for whatever reason. Before long, she switches gears, going full romance mode. She nags about him cheating on her with other girls, saying she's working too hard. This one's clearly fallen for him. Yuto denies it quickly, but she sniffs the air, swearing she can smell another woman, daring him to lie. She isn't asking for much, just a call whenever he needs her, not exactly low maintenance. He agrees, and she leaves, but someone shady is secretly watching close by. Yuto's system warns him, and he instantly senses trouble incoming. Right then, Yuto grabs Mayumi's hands, pretending to double over with stomach pain. He tells her it may be food poisoning, so she should head home alone for now. She sighs and says fine, but next time if you bail, you're spending double with me. Yuto agrees and waves her off with a, I won't do it again. Then he whirls around and demands the creeping stranger come out. Out comes the Zoro Hat Squad. Their leader praises Yuto's alertness, but the boss coldly adds that Yuto messed with the wrong guy. Turns out, the assassin's pretty rookie. Their best weapon is only a baseball bat. First thug swings and misses, then Yuto casually snatches the bat, barehanded, wild. He nearly cracked his wrist with that move. Turns out, not easy at all. He almost broke his hand, system buffs or not, opponent still too strong. Channeling Spider-Man, Yuto weaves, insisting there's no need to fight. Cash would settle this faster, but the thug interrupts. Who Yuto ticked off doesn't care about money. Yuto's paying another way. Before he can land the last blow, a hand grabs his shoulder. A crowd bursts in clapping, praising the actor, saying he's ready for filming. I joked about the Zoro Hat Squad, but I didn't think it would really happen. The little troublemaker watched it all, hired extras to crash the scene. Yuto's floored. She makes it crazier by tossing cash everywhere. So many eyes assassin can't keep going and surrenders. Yuto warns him to walk away. Things will only get worse if he stays. Even the assassin's henchmen look moved, reminded of their grandmas by the women nearby. Left with no way out, the thugs bolt. The crowd wonders what to do now. The actors are gone. The girl smirks, tells everyone to keep their cash, and promises a next time. Yuto still wonders who really sent those three after him. Next day, he returns to the first bank. The curvy teller enters, exhausted from a long night. Suddenly, she's accused. Someone yells she's just lazing at work. Two men appear, claiming a bank must look professional and she's nowhere near. They lecture her, but it's clear she doesn't even know who this guy is. The big boss storms in. He wants to know why there's drama so early. She greets Fujiwara. He tells Natsuki he'll make an intro. One man's a mega group owner in Asia, another's a top investor from overseas, and there's someone with an investment firm. So yeah, there are major VIPs here. She can't figure out why they're all together. Boss apologizes and leads them to the VIP room. All want to meet Matsushima Yuto's first name. Natsuki instantly recognizes Yuto's name. One man suggests he could train staff. Boss likes the idea. The girl leans in with energy, thanks them all, asking for support. Clearly a challenge, instantly riling up the men, who fume that Yuto has her as a secretary. Yuto's lost, swearing he isn't using any strange abilities. She just works at the bank. Meanwhile, Natsuki gets a call from Yuto making a deposit. Instantly, everyone lights up at hearing his name. The boss shares that Yuto contacts Natsuki because she greeted him first when he arrived. Right away, their attitude towards her shifts. They start saying she's the perfect secretary and incredible to have around. Later, she drags herself home, exhausted. Yuto's already waiting inside. It all clicks now. This was always their plan. They built trust so they could figure out Yuto's pursuer. She's drained after using buses and taxis to lose anyone tracking her. Now Yu doubts it's anyone from the bank, so it might connect to live streaming. Suddenly, Meridian messages she'll meet him at a restaurant at 6. For him, it's the best chance to quickly spot his enemy. Cut to the restaurant scene. A staff member asks if Yuto has a reservation since it's only for VIPs. Yu is thrown off. He didn't even know the rule. The staff suggests joining a waitlist or hoping for an open spot. An employee interrupts, rebuking the first guy, saying not to offer that to someone who can't pay for it. The first one bows, apologizes, and rushes away, while the rude guy tells Yuto job openings aren't available now. What an insult. Still confused, Yuto answers his phone as Marinian calls to ask where he is. He says he's stuck in the lobby, not allowed inside. She soon shows up, tapping his shoulder and asking if he's Yuto. Seeing this, the clueless security guard freezes, realizing their connection. Yuto calmly states he's not job hunting. He came here to have dinner. The guard apologizes, wishing him a good evening. Yuto, not wanting drama, just asks for their table location. Marn invites him to join, promising a special night. She's even brought beautiful lilies of the valley to celebrate. The waiter checks if she wants her regular. She agrees, but wants Yuto's input too. He's her sponsor after all. Yuto just shrugs. He's never been here and will copy her order. The waiter laughs, saying this is classic for people not used to luxury spots. The waiter sneaks in a test, asking if the lady wants her regular wine. She agrees. Yuto, broke and modest, isn't interested in wine. He simply asks for a fizzy drink instead, but the waiter explains only wine is served here, as real rich folks won't pick soda over wine. Yuto, annoyed, repeats if they have anything fizzy at all. The waiter sighs and says he'll try to find something in the kitchen. He leaves, grumbling about a broke guy eating with Miss Marim. He eyes another sloppy guest nearby, puzzled why low-class people keep coming. Meanwhile, a sketchy man wonders why no pretty women are around, then notices me and falls instantly. He tells his wife, or that's my guess, calling her honey and saying it's time for the next round. She stares, asking if he'll make her go through this again. Now I'm honestly uneasy. What's this couple plotting? Meanwhile, Yuto gets a king crab dish. I've never had that. Anyone want to explain the taste? Mean stands, saying she's heading to the bathroom and Yuto should eat. As soon as she leaves, the shady woman walks up to Yuto, asking if he plans to eat something so tempting alone. She grins, saying it's thick, rich, and oh so tempting to eat. She leans in close and asks for a taste. This woman is wild. Yuto, baffled, thinks, who is this lunatic? She just tells him relax. She'll pay him, leaving Yuto confused. Yu laughs, amazed people beg for food even at 5-star spots. The woman's smile drops. She whirls on him in fury, vowing to make him pay for that. Passing his chair, she bumps his armrest, then accuses him of being lewd out of nowhere. Yu, totally stunned, insists he never touched her. She claims he should stop playing dumb. She shouts, accusing him of assault, and chucks water at Yuto. He dodges. It splashes a bald guy at another table. Right then, Marin returns, declaring this woman's taking things too far. But the fiery wife snaps back, insisting Yuto cross the line and must apologize. She warns Marin to butt out if she's clueless who she's talking to. Then a staff member enters, addressing Ito-sama and announcing they've checked security cam footage. At first, I thought it might be a setup, but nope, the real staff confirms the woman is lying. Still, the woman denies everything, claiming they're mistaken. She insists she just stumbled and Yuto took advantage. Marin ignores her and tells the staff to warn every restaurant nearby about the woman. She's notorious for falsely accusing people of harassment. Banning her everywhere is smarter. The staff agrees quickly as the woman panics, questioning Marin's influence. Marin Yan grabs her phone and snaps a quick photo, making things worse. She proclaims she'll share it online to alert everyone about this wild woman. She looks at Yuto, grinning, and says it's all thanks to his donation, so she'll back him up. The woman freaks out. Clearly, this scam is her main way to make money. Her husband bursts in, apologizing, blaming alcohol for her actions. He offers to pay everyone's meals to avoid banning her. She protests, but he tells her to shut it, apologize, and leave now. Ashamed, she bows and apologizes. A classic scene artists love. Marin sits, and the man calls himself Shoenima. She asks Yuto if he wants free food from the guy. Yuto shrugs, it's free, why not? Still, Marin, the tricky streamer, questions him instantly. She confirms if Yuto wants Najima to pay it all. He confidently agrees and tells her to order freely. Next, some outrageously pricey wine arrives, probably worth a fortune. The man leans back, thinking it got messy, but there's still a way to fix stuff. He plans to show the girl he can afford anything, unlike the broke kid who scraped money to be there. She chases thrills, she'll go with him tonight. If reserved, a few more tries, and she'll still end up his. Suddenly, Marin pops up and asks Yo to walk with her, leaving the defeated man stunned. He can't believe they're leaving without a word. In desperation, he tries to join them too. But Morin questions why he won't stay here and chat. He fumbles for an excuse, pushing for contact info, but she just says no. Right then, a staff member intercepts the guy, reminding him the bill needs to be paid before he leaves. The bill's 3-2 Ryan Rins, no organ necessary. But really, this price could cost 1. Stunned, the man realizes he's outplayed. Minion and the others laugh, saying it's fun to mess with players who think money buys everything. She teases, claiming she'd have rescued him if he couldn't cover it. Losing it, he lifts a hand to strike, but our Giga Chad smoothly grabs his wrist, voice cold. What do you think you're doing? The fool asked who our boy was with, and he replied he had no group. Oddly, the crazy guy decided he must own the place and invited himself to test it out. The little streamer dragged our boy boy away. Later, elsewhere, he came downstairs, excited to be there. Sweaty and anxious, the girl realized it was Uncle Yamada. He's the bank's vice president. Why is he even here? Our boy wondered just that. Suddenly, he noticed Meridian by him as the man awkwardly rushed over, grabbed his hands, and praised him. Right then, another old investor showed up, hugging our boy too. Every Chinese drama is basically old men swarming our boy. Later, outside, our boy flipped a coin, saying he'd accept an offer from whoever uncovered his attacker. The old guys looked sure, promising the next investment. Each jumped into a tiny car and sped off. Meridian apologized for exposing him with her post and asked if he wanted her to delete it. Man, he told her not to worry, he had a handle. Just then, another guy showed up and asked him to wait. Our boy didn't know what loser Najima wanted, and the guy answered it was time to treat him right. He signaled his brothers to get ready. Everyone grabbed something from under their coats. The protagonist tensed up. Then suddenly they pulled out coconut water. Even Marin Yen was left dazed, confused by their behavior, and the guys started sloppily gulping and spilling the drinks. What was this? Dancing, the men said it was special southern coconut water and offered him a taste. Yuto had zero clue what this man was planning. Suddenly, the man hugged his leg, begged for investment, confessed being wrong, and claimed he could also help find Yuto's enemies. He knew the underground well. Yuto just said, "Alright," so he let him join. Right then, the restaurant owner handed our boy a VIP card, asking if service was good. Classic Yuto humbly said things were fine, only mentioning the manager who mocked him for drinking soda. The guy panicked, realizing he was in trouble since the boss didn't allow that attitude. Then the story cuts to the protagonist's sister saying goodbye to someone. That's the girl from the hospital, and they met at university. Saki-chan was beaming, calling herself lucky for meeting Yamada. She's teaching her lots, really helping her grow. Plus, she was a university genius. When she reached her room, 3 girls waited. The poor innocent thing asked what they were discussing. She's totally about to get grilled. But before they replied, she saw her notebooks dumped in the trash. She started picking them up, wanting answers. And then that beautiful, devious troublemaker. What a threat. She claimed Saki wouldn't use them, so dumped them. Saki-chan asked about her soaked bed. Another sly girl said she spilled milk and apologized. These bullies are pure chaos. Absolute nightmare. The last girl was no better, daring Saki to make a fuss. Saki, desperate, looked back, feeling crushed by their stares. Just then, Chad came in and demanded if they were bullying his sister. Now everyone ended up in the principal's office. Saki told him not to stress, saying she was okay. The rugby guy and hot girls just stood there stiff. Why is she wearing that dress here? Girl, this isn't a party. You told Saki Big Bro's got her back. Then the principal said there seemed to be bullying in Saki's room. Our boy greeted Miss Sai and asked her to state facts, knowing his sister needed backup. She said she understood and why she brought him in. The principal asked Saki to explain why she was being bullied. Arme is baffled, wondering why the principal blamed his sister. Suddenly, the 3 started bawling, claiming that girl scared them bad. A bewildered Yuto asked his sister what's happening. Then we see she really was about to fight back. She sprinted in, strong and stunning, yanked the first girl's hair, and revealed the bald patch she tried to hide. She snatched a wet blanket, wrapped up the second klutz, and joked she'd help dry her off. The second troublemaker shouted for Akane, rugby star who charged at Saki. Saki slipped past, snatched Akane's arm, and tossed her onto the ground. They just lingered, stunned, while Saki apologized and warned them to stop messing with Matsushima family. That's when Yuto remembered. His sister's hauled fish since 9 and was a terror in fights. Still, he told the principal Saki didn't like fighting and surely someone provoked her first. The principal gently led him out and agreed that he might be right about Saki. But the witnesses backed each other and Saki confessed she'd hit them too. Best move. Saki apologizes, they all make up, and school watches what happens next. Surprisingly, Yuto agreed and told them to handle it. Then he asked the girls to talk things out outside, but those drama-loving troublemakers asked for a flawless apology. In China though, the real apology means cash. Yuto signaled he'd be generous, telling them to relax. Just then, a guy ran in saying he'd brought the stuff Yuto wanted. Yuto had bought bags, perfume, and even a phone for these maniacs. Immediately, they said that was all the sincerity they needed. But Yuto stayed cool, threw everything down, and said he'd only hand it over maybe. He claimed luxury stuff didn't fit with people like them. He told them to just admit why they went after his sister. The trio was floored, thinking the loot was theirs. Yuto warned them he'd respect their brains if they confessed now. After all, he'd find out the truth sooner or later. The girl in the party dress admitted they had nothing against Saki, just paid by some guy to start trouble. She showed a photo of a dude with a propeller hat, naming him Shinji Yamada as the paymaster. Yuto clearly hated hearing this. The scene cuts to the dorm, changing focus. Looks like Yuto grabbed a room and told Saki she could stay, that she didn't need to go back there. Looks like we're in a dorm, and he got her a room. She thanked him, saying she'd look around for someone she knew. In another room, likely same building, we see Yamada struggling to fix a sink. Right then, she spotted Saki nearby, turned, and realized it was her. Hot, tired, Saki waved and joked it was fate they lived so close. Spotting her friend's flooded room, she asked what was wrong, Yamada confirmed, about to call help. Giant Saki jumped in, claiming she'd fix it herself, heading over right away. Oddly, Yuto sensed something felt off. Looking sideways, he noticed the sly one who knew him from a hospital. Instantly, he recalled her saying she'd shown the university, but she thought he was a stalker there to follow her. She warned she'd call the police. He quickly explained he was only helping his hardworking sister move in across from her. Then the system urged him to protect her from someone about to take advantage. Just as Saki walked in, saying it was pure luck they knew each other, and announcing she'd fixed it. Yamada was amazed it was done fast. Saki asked what was wrong, while Yuto wondered about the odd system message. Yamada then turned on the sink, grateful for the quick rescue. Then disaster struck. It broke every viewer's heart. The poor girl got drenched. Rest in peace, hero. Saki just laughed at her plight. Sometime later, Yuto kept mulling over saving her. He pictured warning her, but knew she'd think he was nuts. Saki saw her brother thinking about the girl and promised to help him be happy with her help. Of course, obviously. Later, Yamada looked totally fine, saying everything was truly fixed. Saki invites her out to apologize, promising her brother won't tag along. Yamada thanked her, calling it perfect. She also wanted to show her somewhere nearby. Yamada realized it was the perfect info-gathering moment. Looks like he even involved his sister in all this. That kid's something else. All that's left is dealing with the guy in the cap. Later, sweating outside, he checks his phone and asks if he should head to Kurobayama race circuit. Man, some Japanese names are seriously long. The football player answers, confirming Shinji Yamada is always there. Yamada hears a guy talking race bets and warns the rugby player mess with his sister again, and it won't end well. She just thanks him and waves bye. Suddenly, a guard blocks Yamo, saying this spot is VIP only. He asks how to get in, but VIP is for cardholders only, not possible for outsiders. Yamo eyes a small motorbike, asking who owns it. Dude claims it's his, and that's why he's inside. So Yamo hands him cash. The guy looks stunned. Yamo takes the bike, calling it a beast. Meanwhile, someone gushes about Shinji's slick car. Must have cost a ton. Shinji tells Fuji he tweaked it, added self-drive, souped up the engine. As he brags about his spending, someone suddenly tears in on the scooter. Our boy roars by, stunts, and lands straight on Shinji's car. Total guts. He even jokes about those upgrades. Toughness wasn't one, because the thing broke so quick. Shinji almost snaps. He hadn't even started racing. He's on the ground bawling, asking why Yabo did this. Yo says, don't stress, he'll cover it. But first, they need to talk about bullying his sister. Suddenly, Shinji realizes this guy is the main character. Turns out it's about ruining his friend's life. The airport guy, maybe. The poor kid had to switch schools. That's why they mess with his sister. Yuto must race. Loser kneels and apologizes. But if Yato wins, Shinji kneels for his sister. Shinji's in, but wants to know what Yato's driving. The brave one just says chill. His little bike still got juice. Shinji grins, sure he'll win. 3 Ferraris hit the track, Yuto's on his tiny machine, and they're off. Naturally, he's dead last. Shinji's card glitters and he's stoked. Blowing cash gives him a major rush. There's no way he'll just let that bastard walk away clean. He juts out his hand, giving a thumbs down, claiming Udo's definitely scared of dying out there. Honestly, I'd be scared too. But Yuto stays cool, saying rushing is for idiots. Wait, since when did this bastard get moves? Does he have a secret talent? By now it's obvious. He makes a call, checks if the team's set. Helicopters cover the skies. Pretty clear he's about to fix things with cash again. A storm of spike strips blows out tires everywhere. The idiots jump out and rage about where it all came from. Still, Shinji dodged everyone. He had to slow down though. In that moment, Yuto shot past him. Makes sense, right? Our guy always worked as a delivery driver. So, when he rides a bike, he shows talent. Shinji burns with rage, not letting that bastard win, slamming the gas to take him down. Yuto can't believe Shinji's gunning for him, but the idiot just shouts, "Move or die." Suddenly, Shinji ditches the bike and throws a punch. Thinks he's the Hulk? Somehow, Shinji smashes into the wall. Yuto totally vanishes. This bastard is basically 007. He's in a helicopter, climbing down fast, telling Shinji wrecked cars mean no more racing. He lost. Later, Yuto orders him to kneel and apologize. He means to show Shinji's defeat to his sister. Shinji snaps, no chance. Then Edward Cullen swoops in, the loser must obey. But since he took first, Shinji does not have to listen to Yuto. Shinji feels relief and thanks him. Fuji did win, but Yuto insists the bet was between him and Shinji for what happened to his sister. Shinji grows jittery, asking if Yuto wants to settle it with a brawl now. Yamada bursts in, sharply slapping him, threatening to do what his father never did. He weakly calls her big sis. Now the guy has to be put in his place. He deserves it. It's the sweet payback. Night descends and is she a werewolf? She's grown in stature, warning Shinji their folks didn't raise him for all this mess. He stammers, but she cuts him off disappointed. He clings to her legs, almost crying for mercy, owning his mistakes. Yuto's jaw drops, again on learning she's his sister. Seriously, is this kid already losing his memory? She fumbles out that yes, Shinji is her little brother. Then Saki swings by, reminding Yamada she explained why she left. Back then, Yamada got so mad she almost came for a fight. Now, she just wants to know what Yuto's doing here. Before he talks, Twilight's clown says Shinji should apologize fast. It's his last chance to protect what's left of his name. He introduces himself, Fuji, and warns Yuto to watch out since he's from the Bunan region. Sounds like a fancy place, but Yuto just tells him he doesn't care where he's from, and the guy's reputation means zip. His punch nearly trashed the whole car, crazy, right? This guy's 3 times as strong as any normal dude. He faces Shinji, threatening to make him bow if he refuses. The clown wants help from his sister, but she tells him to own up. Seconds later, he's at Saki's feet, groveling. But Yuto's relentless, insisting he yells louder so Saki hears every word. Fuji, the moody Twilight clown, vows payback. But Saki shrugs, saying they should just go home. She wants hangout time with Yamada. Her friend suggests shopping. Saki cheers, saying she might steal Yamada's clothes, but Yuto pipes up that they won't fit anyway. These girls are close in size, but he's certain those clothes would be way too tight. Of course, both girls shoot him weird looks, wondering how he even knows their sizes. This kid is soaking in all the sights. His secret ability must be always buzzing. Meanwhile, Fuji questions what Yuto really is to Yamada. Shinji's itching for answers too, telling her to hop in the car. Too bad, she refuses, saying she isn't a fan of fast cars anyway. The guy insists, feeling she can't just hang around outside. But Yu just has that tiny bike, which definitely won't hold 3. Suddenly, another car pulls up. Someone tells them to get that junk out of the way, pretty sure it's that wild restaurant guy. Yeah, that's him, Najima. Niji wants to know his business, but the guy just says move, not offering any explanation. Fuji tells him he owes everything to his rich family status. Without it, he'd be nobody. Still, Najima ignores him and rushes over to greet our boy, whispering quickly, then lets the girls know if they're friends of Yo, they can ride along. His sister's wary and asks Yuto if it's really safe to trust this wild character. What if he's got plans to kidnap them? Yo assures them it'll be fine. Saki's already dragging her friend along, saying, just go. The wild guy even tosses Yuto the car keys, calling him the boss. Meanwhile, Shinji breaks down, crying and apologizing to Niji, swearing he tried his best. He's barely controlling his anger, already lost Mika. Can't lose Yamada's respect, so he asks Shinji about the negotiations, but Shinji says there's still no news. He mocks him, saying his sister probably knows already. He's definitely stuck in her shadow. This shakes Shinji, who demands an explanation. Najima realizes his mind games are working. Next, we see a car zooming through the streets. Wait, it's not even our guy. Seriously, wasn't he supposed to drive? Why is this jerk driving? Yuto presses Najima for info on the crew. Najima just says, Fuji's the wealthy second son from Bonin, but he's seen as a total failure. Yuto asks why. Najima says, the kid was pampered and desperate for top grades. He did piano, chess, seemed like the perfect kid on paper. His sister jumps in, questioning what's wrong with that. Najima says the problem was he got beat up by both parents and people nearby since everyone was compared to him. But now those kids got their payback. This guy's had it rough. Yo thought Najima's trouble was bigger, but he's just as bad as the one beside him. Later, they drop Yamada home. She thanks them, which is weird. There's still 1K immersion until school. Saki says she probably prefers to walk instead of showing up in a luxury car. Yuto hops out too and decides to walk with her. Seriously? Is he gonna leave the other 2 alone like that? Follow them or they'll get themselves hurt. Meanwhile, Najima says the kid's lucky. 2 stunners in his life, but he's all about hunting the 3 attackers. Nagima says they've ID'd the guys, just waiting on an order to go after them. But Yuto says, don't involve the police, watch yourself. Not long after, they show up at a place looking like a castle. The place is crawling with top-tier gold diggers. Everyone's eyeing the car, unsure who'd roll up in such a junker. Turns out the girl on the right is clueless. The left girl spots it's a McLaren, worth millions. The other instantly regrets her comment. Then, the one in the dress grabs Najima's hand, gushing over his car. She asks for his number, and he agrees, promising it after spending some time together later. Man, all they really need is that McLaren, since the girl already calls it flawless, but he better stick to that promise. Meanwhile, our boy asks Najima where they are. Najima took him to the nighttime friend's house, saying, money isn't everything in this world. Now I'm stumped. Not totally sure this is that place, just looks likely with a guy lounging between 2 girls. Elsewhere, Najima whispers the guy who chased him is right next door. He controls it all here, so he knows everything. Then a man enters, offering Najima anything he wants. Uto demands all the footage from next door. Turns out, Najima's authority isn't all that. The guy says privacy is the heart here. If tapes leak, he loses his reputation. But our boy just flips a coin, calmly tells him to show the cameras. If that won't do it, he ups it to 2 yen. At 5, the guy is already panicking. With no answer, Yuto cuts it off. He refuses to keep raising the price. The man finally grabs his hand, begs him to wait. 5 yen, he'll get that footage done fast. Cut, and they're watching the TV, everything ready to roll. Ninja grumbles, but admits this is way easier. Yu stares at a guy with friends, saying he shouldn't watch this, but he needs to see why he's being hunted. Yeah, this is weird, just 2 guys spying. Then the guy pulls a Venom-like stunt, and the worker warns he'll have to pay more, but the guy says relax. She has zero clue what his boss did to get that girl from the hospital. The girl is lost and asks for details. He says come close, then spills. The boss hates healthy girls. He wants them wrecked, stuck, hopeless. First, he shatters their reputation and self-respect. Oh wow, the mark is Yamada. He waits till she breaks, then plays the rescuer. Hopeless people grab any hand, always give in. The girl instantly calls him twisted, says he's unhinged. He just says, whatever. Boss runs it all, but since someone crashed his plans, he wants payback. Hold up, just hit me who this creep is. It's that scar-faced top hat guy, the revenge guy. The girl asks the boss's name, not out of curiosity. She just wants to dodge this nutcase. He shrugs it off, won't say the name here. Then someone barges in, shouting about prepping for Yamada's birthday. Scarface nods, saying they must do this right or else they're dead. Yo suspects these guys have Shinji's support. Najima likes the revenge plan, but our boy says it's late time to head home. His friend insists on staying behind to keep an eye on things. Like monitoring is all he'll do. Roaming the club, Yuto admits Yamada's opponent is tough, but Yamada's not easy either. Suddenly, the system pings, spotting a target. If he steps in, he'll score a random bonus. Close by, the boss heads for a girl in a skirt. If I'm right, that's the same guy from the bank. No way, he's chatting with Miss Sue. Isn't Sue the university principal? What's she doing at a bar dressed like that? What is this? She tells him to stop and back off, reminding him he promised delayed payments for 3 months if she wore the outfit. The old man grins, saying she's naive for thinking clothes would be enough. She has to do more, she wants what she came for. So, she warns if he gets closer, she'll scream, but he urges her to relax and not stress out. If she belts out a show on stage for 5 minutes, he'll delay her debt for 3 more months. So snaps back, refusing to dance, but the guy asks if she's sure she wants her issue unsolved. He suggests she'd be doomed if university officials found out her payments were overdue. She clenches her jaw and says, fine, just 5 minutes. The old man grins, pleased, as she prepares. Seriously, where's our dude? Is he gonna save her or what? You're slow, man. The creep knows she has to keep up appearances, so he plans on snapping blackmail photos. Yeah, this jerk is the worst. Wouldn't blame our hero for taking him down if it came to that. This old guy sounds bitter, dumped, broke, and now thinks women deserve no respect. Honestly, he might as well start his own rant podcast. As Sai struggles, a savior shows up and tells her not to give in to these creeps. Right away, she knows it's Saki's brother, and our guy warns her, backing down only invites endless blackmail. Right then, the old man turns and demands to know who Yuto is. Our hero just tilts his head, asking if he really needs to explain himself. The old creep starts shaking, recognizing Yuto as the king of 10 yens. But then he gathers his courage and says that a debt is a debt. She has to pay back what she owes him. Yuto dares him to try and force her. Now the old man is wondering why this bastard is always trying to pick a fight with him. Yu turns to Sai and asks if she has any proof that they were charging abusive interest rates, because if she does, she can take legal action and only pay back the original amount. Wait a minute, this bastard just turned into a lawyer all of a sudden. So why is shocked, saying she didn't know that was even possible. Another guy nearby loses his temper, saying they have a contract with her and that nothing was abusive. But Yuto just smirks, saying the final decision isn't theirs. It'll be up to the investigators. Besides, our protagonist knows that this guy is broke after what happened with that bank. So, where the hell did he even get the money to lend to Miss Sawai? He asks if he really has to dig into that, and the old man hesitates. After a death stare from Yuto, the creep takes off running, saying he'll get his revenge, but for now, she should just forget about all this. Sometime later, outside, the stunning mini-Kurt principal thanks our boy for helping her. He tells her to just call him Yuto, the brave one. She apologizes for needing his help and explains that her father was in an accident and she urgently needed money, which led her into all this mess. Yu nods, saying he understands, but he warns her to be more careful or others will try to take advantage of her in the future. Gigantic moment. She admits she panicked and wasn't thinking straight. Our boy tells her not to be too hard on herself. Everyone makes mistakes. He was about to call her a taxi so she could rest, but then she suddenly says she can't go back to school. It's late at night, and if she shows up wearing that outfit, people will definitely get the wrong idea. He asks if she wants him to rent a hotel for her, and she says yes. A little while later, they're already at the reception asking for a room. The woman thanks them and hands over a key card, but then the other receptionist suddenly seems to recognize something. Yuto tells Sai that once the room is set up, he'll head home. Sai thanks him, but accidentally calls him brother Yuto Tosan. He pauses, confused. She quickly realizes her mistake and corrects it, calling him Saki's brother instead. Okay, now I'm confused. I think she just called him Big Bro for a second. Meanwhile, the receptionists are whispering among themselves. One of them taps Kumi-chan's shoulder and tells her to check her phone. Looking at our boy, she says she's sure it's him. They start chatting, saying they have to do their best. Yu asks if the room is ready. The other receptionist apologizes, saying all the single rooms are booked, but since it was their mistake, they'll upgrade them for free. At the same time, another girl is seen sprinting away in the background. So Wai finds that odd and Yuto asks why they aren't charging full price. The woman claims it's because the lack of rooms was their fault and they pride themselves on professionalism. So Wai just shrugs, saying, sure, go ahead and show them the room. Down the hall, one smug playboy checks his phone. He really scored her number and even set a date. This guy truly knows the tricks. He spots Yuto Tosin, and for now, their fancy room seems to take the whole floor. Yuto and Sai feel lost, but the hotel assures them that everything is theirs to use. Then Sai opens a door, screaming at the awful torture tools inside, disturbing enough to freeze anyone. Yuto asks the staff, who casually tells them not to stress. She adds that it's all sanitized, but Yuto simply says that's beside the point. She backs off and leaves as he remains baffled. He tells Sai he's heading out and suggests she rest. She grabs his arm, insisting she has something important to share. The camera shifts oddly and she repeats herself. Yuto arches a brow and asks what it is. So she apologizes for what happened with his sister, realizing later the other girls were to blame, and admits she should have seen it sooner. Ujo had clearly expected her to say something else entirely. He says he talked to Yamato. She shouldn't stress, it sorted with Shinji, but Sai wants to know exactly where Saki's staying. She wants to apologize to Saki face to face. Yuto shrugs, fine. Later, Najima bumps into him, teasing about Yuto's new weakness. Yuto just demands to know why Najima's even here. Nima just shrugs, saying he saw Yuto with a certain woman. Yuto dismisses it. She's just his sister's connection. After all, he only rented her the room and is already leaving. Nima grins slyly, joking he gets it, friends by day, lovers by night. Suddenly, the hotel receptionist rushes over, asking why he's leaving and if something was wrong. Yuto calmly says he had no plans to spend the night, so what's the problem? She fumbles, then apologizes, never expecting someone as important as him would drop in for a surprise inspection. Yuto raises an eyebrow. Surprise inspection? What? She's stunned, sure that was his reason for coming. He looks baffled, asking why he'd ever do that. The receptionist explains, assuming he's now president and shareholder of the hotel. She got a memo earlier and thought that's why he was here. Turns out, the system randomly gave him Oten Group stock, owner of the hotel, and Yuto didn't notice. Najima bursts out laughing. You're a legend. Renting hotels for girls is common, but you bought one for a night? Yuto's over Najima. He tells the receptionist, check Najima's paperwork. If it's off, kick him out. She nods as Najima freaks out, begging for a second. If he gets thrown out, his day plans die. But Yuto's unfazed. He walks out, leaving Najima in the dust. Next day, our guy savors comfort food. Feels just like someone's mom urging him to eat up and stay well. Nope, it's his friend's mom, formerly in the hospital. Then Yamaguchi pops in, looking regretful. He asks for more cash, swearing slow payback. Yuto just shrugs him off. Yuto says repayments not expected. Yamaguchi should use what he needs, save up for Yuki-chan, give his mom peace. Yamaguchi quickly begs him not to say that. Yuto asks what's wrong. Yamaguchi admits Yuki keeps her distance. She's getting quieter, barely replying to text now. Yuto asks if she's still at the dealership, and Yamaguchi nods. Anyone who's read web novels knows what's coming. He drags Yamaguchi car shopping to solve things. Cutscene. The car dealership. A girl asks their reason for coming. It's the pair making moves. Yamaguchi says our guy's here for a test drive. The girl tilts her head, then agrees to help, but Yamaguchi notices a bruise on her knee. He asks about it. She's unsure, says she bumped a car. No big deal. He pushes for more, but she brushes it off. Then two other dealership girls walk in, mocking Yuki for acting pitiful to get money from guys. Yamaguchi instantly defends her. Yuki is my girlfriend. He eyes the girls. Yuki sighs, confirming they're co-workers. Yuto cuts in, teasing that this place looks less like a car shop and more like a plastic surgery center. Their faces scream android makeover. No idea why he burned them, but clearly they hated it. They snarl, claiming Yuki's boyfriend is poor, declaring they don't care and telling him to scram. One brags her surgery costs more than his paycheck. Yuki bites back, if you're so rich, why blame the accident on me? The girl laughs, insisting Yuki caused it and has to pay. The girls mock her pain, but Yuki suddenly drops a major truth. She says they crashed into her on purpose. She dropped to her knees, her things scattered, feeling totally humiliated. At last, Yamaguchi connects the dots. That's why she had that knee bruise. The girls brush it off, telling her to quit whining and making a scene. But Yamaguchi stands strong, demanding an apology. The man suddenly lost it. He grabs one girl's arm, warning her, if you don't say sorry, you're getting hurt. Just kidding, he didn't actually say that. He firmly tells him to apologize. Then a new challenger arrives, the dealership owner, who yells at Yamaguchi for daring to touch his girl. The girl instantly plays the victim, wailing that her arm's nearly smashed by this brute. Right then, Marin spots the squad and demands to know their business. Yuki's jaw drops. She clearly likes the streamer queen. She says she just wanted to browse cars and ask what happened. The fight keeps heating up, catching the dealership owner's interest. He asks if Yuto and Yamaguchi roll with Miss Marin, all out of respect for her. If Yamaguchi says sorry, they'll call it even. Yuto just looks at him, asking if he's lost his mind, demanding an apology. The dealership owner just sneers that Yuto blew his shot to walk away with dignity. Marin wishes him luck, but says if he screws up, she's not saving him. The dealership owner, puzzled, asks for clarification. She coolly says if he messes up, the contract's gone. Suddenly, the dealer gets it. Who is this kid anyway? Why does the Ito family's heiress care about him? But the two dealership girls scoff, refusing to apologize to Yuki. Now the owner's trapped back down and seem soft or lose a deal. The girls go all in, one even turning up the drama, And with that, the dealer foolishly takes their bait. He twisted his lip, saying if there's trouble, call the police. But he'd never say sorry. Right there, Marin sealed his deal. The contract ends now. Before she could reply, Yuto touched her shoulder. No need for that. She blinked, lost. Yuto turned and simply walked out. That's the fastest fix ever. That can't be it. Something else has to blow up soon. Outside, Marin said sorry, but Yuto just waved it off. Just like us. His patience blew her away. How will you get your revenge? But Yuto simply grinned, saying, I don't hunt payback. I'm relaxed. Yamaguchi couldn't sit still though. He vowed to clear Yuki's name. Yuto just smiled at Marin, calling her the true kind soul. Inside, the dealer and both girls started laughing. An employee offered extra perks for defending them. He thought he'd won big, but when he glanced at his phone, his grin evaporated. Dozens of companies dropped him at once. Worse, many cars had sold. He had to return cash and explain everything. He clutched his head, totally baffled by it all. The girls asked if he still wanted their offer now. Furious, he kicked one and called her trash. Meanwhile, Yuto had handled it all on WhatsApp. How? Who knows? Maybe he's got some serious banking ties. All we know is Yuto is unstoppable. Just telling Marina to relax. It's settled. Later, a fancy car glided over the city bridge. Inside, our crew and beaming Yuki enjoyed the ride. She offered to drive for Yuto, but he just grinned, saying it was a test. Yuki cheered, loving it. She was sure he'd be way better than her last boss. Yamaguchi's girl's acting strange. Protagonist, notice her already. Yamaguchi's still mad about the dealership creep. He still muttered about payback, but Yuki cut him off. She told him none of it mattered now. They were free. She'd stayed distant so she didn't add to his stress with his mom so sick. Now Yamaguchi got soft, apologizing and thanking her for being so thoughtful. Yuto groaned, how much longer will you two keep flirting in front of me? His face shifted fast. He told her to watch the road. She almost crashed. Yeah, driving will never be her thing. Soon, they pulled up outside a giant corporation. Their first target was there, waiting, ready for what's next. She tapped her foot. Annoyed, he replied to her message so slow. Now, she demanded to know his reason for showing up. Yuto introduced Yuki and Mayumi. Looks like Yuto's shoving Yuki into a driver's job, maybe hoping traffic wipes them both out. But Yuki, in on it, bragged the car up front was a fresh gift from Yanagi herself. Yanagi leapt at Yuto, claiming she pushed her limits for the company. Suddenly, Yuto's phone buzzed. Miss Sai was in trouble. Yamada broke into his sister's room. He said he'd get there right away. Told Yanagi sorry but had urgent business. He vanished. Yanagi watched him go, smirking. Next round, he won't slip away. On campus, an old woman chased Shinji swinging a broom. I kept it cool, explaining he was a student here. She just glared. Don't care, student or not, he can't do anything he wants. He ran, crashed into Yuto, and froze cold when he looked up. Without pause, Yuto twisted his arm and asked where he thought he was going. Shinji panicked, threatening cops if he got hurt, but Yuto just clamped his mouth shut. So why hesitated? Warning maybe this was too much, but Yuto insisted he wasn't letting it go with this guy. So why admitted seeing Shinji outside, sneaking upstairs, so she decided to follow his lead. Upstairs, he was jumpy and looked guilty. He kept circling, messing with a doorknob. That's when she messaged Yuto for backup. Why not call the cops? No clue. Yuto eyed the papers in Shinji's hands and asked their source. So why said they came from Saki's room, number 2007? But as Yuto looked, he realized these weren't Saki's. It was a new energy project, definitely not Saki's. Then he shocks everyone. His sister's room is actually room 29, so gasps, stunned. She quickly apologizes to Shinji for thinking he snuck into Saki's room, but now Shinji's livid. He insists he can visit his sister's room and won't let it go. But Yuto just tosses the papers down. You think I won't mention you stole things from Yamada's room? In that moment, Shinji winces. Yes, his name is Yamada Shinji. His sister is Yamada Mika. He was taking from her. Gritting his teeth, Shinji says Yuto should stay out of their family matters. That's more than a little weird. Before things blow up, a police officer steps in. Shinji instantly tries charging Yo with assault, but this isn't your average cop. It's Uchima Akari, towering and fierce. Shinji thanks her, but when he calls her ma'am, she shoots him a dirty look. She's annoyed. She says she'll check the facts first, then notices Yuto. Later at the station, Yuto just slouches low, like he couldn't care less about anything. In the room, Shinji, Mika, and Officer Akari. Akari orders them to explain, but Mika sighs, drop it. She's letting it go, no need to keep fighting. She tells Shinji to come, but he refuses. He gripes, saying he won't let this slide. Arm hurts, and he wants something for it. Mika just rolls her eyes. Stop with the drama. She's already being lenient. He was nosing in her docs. She pays his allowance and will stop if he doesn't act right. Shinji is getting burned by Mika, and she funds his life. Obviously, Shinji lies, saying he wanted to help her, but Mika isn't fooled. She says stop the drama, then asks if his arm hurts or if he still needs a doctor. Right away, Shinji waves his arm. Arm's fine, as long as you pay me, I'm invincible. Yuto gets up, stretches out, things are settled, I'll leave then. But Akari blocks him. She says stay, even if Shinji drops it, the hospital could make it a crime. If that's the case, she says, arresting him comes next. Yuto sighs. So what's the doctor say? Akari grins. They'll wait and see, you brat. Meanwhile, outside, Sai's freaking out. She never thought Yuto might honestly get arrested. She bursts in, declaring, I'll take full responsibility for this. She insists Yuto only helped her and it's wrong for him to be blamed. Akari narrows her eyes. And you are? Before Sai replies, Yuto interrupts. He tells her to leave. I don't want another person dragged in. She hesitates, checking he means it, then nods. Alright, I'm off to the university. Call if needed. She exits. Yuto tries to leave too, but Akari stops him. She looks like she'll make him stay, but just throws him a knowing smirk. So, you like women like that now? No wonder you never bothered to text me. Now Yuto's flustered. Huh? Turns out Akari was his first crush in school. His senpai. Yuto snaps back. You're the one who left me, not the other way around. Akari crosses her arms, smirking. You're into younger girls now? Was I just another fling? Message received. Before Yuto replies, someone brings the hospital report. Akari checks it, sighs. Lucky you, no injuries found. Yu groans. So, can I leave? Akari grins. Yes, but first, she removes her cap and stretches. My shift's done. Want to grab food? Jump to her apartment. Akari crouches for her shoes. Yu glances around. Wait, wasn't food the plan? Why are we here? She almost says something crazy, but only shrugs. I have to change. Can't go out still dressed as a cop. That actually makes sense. Yuto's realizing Akari's way bolder now. He also notices her apartment is chaotic. He instantly gets it. This woman is totally wiped from work. She sighs, admitting she needs help cleaning. Oh no, Yuto, run now. But she flops on the bed and reminds him, you used to always help me in college. Or maybe you'll stay, Yuto. Now he's scrubbing the floor. Each minute feels like something could happen, but it never does. Suddenly, she asks about Yuto's past girlfriends. He simply shrugs. Only dated one. Almost married. Then she kicks him. He winces, demanding why. She pouts. She hasn't dated anyone since, and now she's jealous. Yu just blinks. You broke up with me. I was free. How does that not make sense? She stutters, mumbling she never wanted them to split up. Yuto cuts in. Then why'd you vanish? He asked about her, but she was nowhere. She just grins, teasing, clean my room first and I'll talk. So Yuto grumbles and gathers her stuff until snap. She snaps a photo. While he's holding her clothes, she makes a face and grins. She taunts, now I've got proof of your crime. This could lock you up for years. Yuto panics, begging her to delete it. If that gets out, he's doomed. She spins her phone, laughing. Blackmail is definitely her plan. She smirks. Think your sister would enjoy this? Yuto sighs, resigned. Alright, what do you want? She grins. Nothing big. Go shopping with me. Come to my dad's 60th. Yuto rubs his head, groaning. If I have time, fine. She's all smiles, clapping. Great, let's go now. She swings open her closet, tells him to pick her an outfit. She's curious. Does he like cute or mature styles? Yuto hesitates, but her phone rings. It's work. She groans, says she's got to jet. Yuto just shrugs. She sighs. Too bad. I'll head out too. She goes to the window, suddenly blurts, which way do you think the criminal runs? Yuto looks confused. Weird question, but he points. And bam. She grabs his face and kisses him. Genius move, she whispers, smirking. By the way, the culprit's right here. She sprints out the door. Yuto stands, totally stunned. This woman never. Meanwhile, in a tall office, investors sit around a table. They all want to know Yuto's plans. They ask him his next move. Yuto shrugs, says nothing special, then explodes. You claim to run things, but you still can't find my would-be killer. The investors fidget, uneasy. They stammer, that's not our job. We buy and sell, not fight assassins. Yuto's face goes cold. This is exactly why I showed up today. None of you get investigations, so I'm starting my own company. Actually, that tracks. Suddenly, he drops a bomb. I'll invest 10,000 yen. The investors inhale. He explains, pay people well if you want real results. The old guy snapped to attention. Oh, an investigation company? Easy. We'd wreck that, Yuto grins. First assignment, investigate Country F's energy project. Also, what's up with the Yamada family drama? Elsewhere at a hotel, a woman asks a guy what's wrong. The man looks wiped out, totally out of it. It's Nejima's wild husband. She destroyed him, and out of nowhere, she flashes a baseball bat. I've got this handled. This room has amazing features. Would be a waste not to use them. The poor man tries fleeing, but gets caught. Honestly, I'm scared to see what comes next. Meanwhile, Nejima's down at the front desk. He mumbles he'll never return, but the hotel girl delivers soup with a smile. He perks up sipping it. Ever since Yuto Tosin took over, the place has completely improved. Turns out Yuto added the bat and soup himself, probably to stop Nejima from complaining after that eviction. Mastermind stuff. We'll catch on soon. Switch scenes. Men deliver odd packages to the hotel. Scarface orders them around. Nejima recognizes him instantly. He's one of the guys from before. Then Haruma Fuji whirls around, asking staff, what's actually happening here? The staff shares that someone booked the top floor for a special birthday bash. Nejima arches a brow. This for Yamada Mika's birthday? The staffer admits it. Nima grins. Perfect then. The worker's confused. Najima drops the big reveal. The man behind the party is trying to steal Yuto's sister. The worker panics, suggests canceling, but Najima smirks. No. Let's note this for all it's worth. Later, Scarface finally sees the epic setup and is blown away. He slipped the staff extra cash and thanked them for their amazing work. But the hotel staff turned him down. Yamada's birthday must be perfect. Scarface grinned, sure they finally got his importance. Yet Najima and crew were already plotting nearby, unseen. Meanwhile, Scarface called Yuto, urging him to watch fireworks from Orson Hotel. But a drained Yuto snapped, deal with it yourself, until Najima teased him. You can't skip this. Trust me. Yuto groaned but agreed to check it out. Cutscene. Mika's friend wanted to know why Shinji called her. Shinji smirked, forgot what day tomorrow is. Then fireworks burst. Strange numbers glowed mid-celebration. 12,259 flashed. Nika was baffled. Everyone gasped. Shinji revealed, at midnight, it's your birthday. You arrived right at December 22nd, 12 minutes. As the date flipped, you'd age. Mika grinned, thanked him, and told him not to go overboard. Shinji just shrugged off. Don't get it twisted. I'm not a romantic. She warned him, no funny business. She's his sister. Shinji then smirked. None of it was his idea. Suddenly, Scarface showed up below with flowers. Scarface wanted to impress Yo's sister. Shinji told him, after the show, bring the bouquet. Watching, Fuji said Scarface could score big if it worked. Fuji then asked the hotel's price for all this fanfare. Handing the bouquet, Scarface grinned, don't sweat it, they're charging me even less. Fuji brushed it off. Money's nothing, just get the girl. Scarface clenched his jaw. Fuji always whined about money but flaunted his riches. Mika asked who pulled all this off. Shinji smirked, here they come. Right on cue, Fuji stepped up. Happy birthday, Mika. She stared, floored. Fuji beamed, you'll get it. Then the hotel made an announcement. Drones updating message. Lights flickered, spelling out, happy birthday, Mika, from HPA. Haruma Fuji. Shinji, sharp as ever, squinted. Was the H for Haruma Fuji? Nope, Shinji snapped. But the H flickered, morphing into YM. Mika's eyes shot open. Could that really be Yuto Machuma? Suddenly, hotel staff started apologizing, saying they were never paid for that part. Scarface saw instantly. It was all a setup. Amid the confusion, Majima showed up. Just then, Yuto strolled in, bored as ever. He dully asked, why am I here? Majima smirked. We're staying at our wild hotel. Then he pointed at Yuto, saying the birthday planning burned him out. Fuji simmered, knowing it was Yuto again. Mika was stunned and speechless. Yuto really went all out just for Mika. Meanwhile, Scarface yelled at hotel staff, threatening punishment for this stunt. But the staff replied calmly, no, you're mistaken. Yuto is our boss. Fuji looked doubtful, joking about security. But staff clarified, Yuto's actually our CEO. Fuji paled while the man in the suit asked Mika to celebrate alone to talk business. But Mika refused, keeping her distance from Fuji. He was shocked when she asked to review terms with him again. Mika exposed his secret work with her brother. Annoyed, Fuji tried to cover his tracks, suspecting betrayal. Fuji claimed energy was the future and he'd succeed elsewhere, obviously rattled. Someone wondered if this was Yuto's idea, but Yuto looked just as surprised. The plan came from the manager. Mika told Yuto she wanted a private talk away from crowds. Meanwhile, the two guys were thrilled by the outcome. Was everything done, Mika thanked Yuto and asked him not to repeat it. Yuto assumed that meant rejection and tried to avoid more talk. Mika stayed blunt. She said her company needed her, and she couldn't shift focus yet. Yuto yawned, saying he knew, told Mika to go home, and walked off. She's mixed up about their situation, so she thinks it's better things go this way. He's confused too, realizes he can't assume girls like him because he's handsome. Suddenly, his phone buzzed. Good news hit? An update on the company investigation, full details coming in a week. But his instincts sound right if he keeps acting this way. Mika might think he's interested, which could mess up the mission. He scored a new skill, connected to his sharp eyes. A couple kissed. The woman marched at him, clearly trying to scare him off. Why easily spotted her bag was just a well-made knockoff. His words stung, leaving her furious, more insulted than before. She lashed out at her partner, feeling betrayed by the fake. Yuto knows nothing about brands or why he spoke up, but the system promises reward for every mission. Just answer the next call. They asked if they should dig deeper, and he told them to keep going. He hates watching innocent girls get fooled. A goth blonde with wild hips came over, curious about the scam. Ma appeared out of nowhere, surprising Yuto, and shared about dinner with some older men. Her dad pressured her. Since it's Richest Day, she's not streaming. Playfully, she asked where he lived, hoping for a visit. Yu checked if Ma felt safe here. She shrugged it off, sure her camera would protect her. She promised there's no filming happening. Actually, she's vlogging. A backup if her fans disappear. She wants Yuto's support, but says they'll need to chat more first. Yu spotted suited men threatening an old lady to sell, or her son goes to jail. He asked what was up, making the men leave, then questioned the older woman further. The old lady started to relax. He handed her water, genuinely wanting answers about what happened. She shrugged, no worries, but she won't rent it out long. She grinned, our boy's staying for free. The system flagged a target. An urgent job kicked in. Sitting down, Yuto said he liked the place and wanted to buy. The old lady smiled, sure the boy had finally made it. Plus, he's got himself a stunning girlfriend. Blonde, blonde, curvy. Granny really likes her. Big thanks, Granny-senpai. She admitted she had to sell. Her son's company hit some major trouble. Yu figured it was loan sharks. The building's valuable, yet they're offering just 40%, and she'll take it to save her son. And that building is clearly worth 100 coins. Yu shocked her, offering 150 coins. She insisted for him she'd sell it even cheaper. No hesitation at all. But our guy already dropped the whole payment. She's still in disbelief. But he never jokes around. He means business. Shocked himself. The old lady promised the paperwork tomorrow, and Yuto remembered it's Saturday. Office is closed then. The old lady will finish by Monday. Time to get her home. She warned him not to ignore his girl and called a taxi, so they wouldn't be disturbed. Back home, Uto said the old lady's stubborn but real kind. Ma thinks he helped out, but he knew it's a smart move. The girl stretched, teasing, and shared she overheard something strange. The city's development plans are changing. It was about Shiramatsu, though her memory's foggy. She's getting drowsy. Yuto realized locals really see him as honorable. If he were a creep, she'd be on shaky ground. Yuto caught a random headbutt. Out of nowhere, Ma jolted awake, realizing she dozed off. Knowing it was time to go home, she decided to call a taxi. Then she realized her bracelet was missing and asked Uto for help. Her mother gave her that bracelet as a special gift. If it was gone, she'd be in deep trouble. But our protagonist pulled through. Ma let out a sigh of relief when the bracelet turned up. She can't imagine life if that bracelet disappeared. Losing it would truly suck considering its importance. She should really wear it instead of carrying it around. Yuto offered to put it on her. Ma blushed, saying it was just for her dinner with her dad. She thinks it's not pretty enough, so Yuto joked to keep it locked away safe and happy. Now she can finally head home through those building hallways. Ma started sweating and breathing hard, tempted to kiss our protagonist and do things not fit for YouTube. It looked bad if a famous streamer dated a fan, but quickly realized our guy isn't her viewer. Still, she refuses to make the first move. She wants to wait a bit longer. Our guy saw the bracelet's not worth much, but we'll explain later because he's worn out. After a hard day, he finally crawled in the bed and got ready to sleep. That's when someone banged on his door, insisting he open up. Akari barged in late that night, shocking him without notice. She strolled in, reminding Yuto about their weekend shopping plans. He said, it's still night. For Ari, Saturday had started, so she searched his apartment for intruders. Yuto pleaded for sleep, but she insisted he stay up because she'd make food. She promised a loving meal after 2 hours. All she managed after that was one fried egg, totally out of patience. Yuto took over at the stove because he was tired too, needing rest. Akari can only say yes. She's not very skilled, envies our guy, and hunts for rivals. But at least he doesn't reek of perfume. He whipped up some tasty-looking pasta on the fly. Akari missed the meal and admits she loves his cooking. She joked they need to work out together or get fat, but it's already really late, and she's getting close. Akari teased she's going to exhaust him. Now they're both doing push-ups in the living room like maniacs. Yu at least is naturally athletic, knocking out the push-ups. He cheers Akari on, telling her to get even stronger. Finally, sunlight breaks through outside. Time for them to shower and hit the stores like they planned. As they leave, Yuto asks what she'll get for her uncle. She's thinking about buying a musical instrument. It's his hobby now, though he's done little since retiring. Soon enough, they found a music store. A saleswoman welcomes them inside as Akari asks about saxophones. They're out of soprano saxophones. Akari knows her dad likes classics, and the saleswoman offers a unique handmade model. It's the last in stock and could take years to replace, since every piece is handcrafted. Akari pretends to understand but is convinced, then a striking, powerful woman storms in, demanding the expensive saxophone. The saleswoman apologizes, saying it's already sold. The angry woman flashes a black card, but gets refused. Infuriated, she smacks the saleswoman, acting high and mighty. Akari's had enough. She shouts, "That's criminal assault." The women lock eyes, tension thick. It's like a martial arts showdown about to erupt. A suited man arrives, recognizes her as Sasaki, then orders his staff to apologize for the drama. Knowing she's important, he bends over backwards to keep Sasaki happy. Demanding more, she wants the employee fired and insists they sell her the saxophone now. Akari won't just take this, but the hero's about to jump in, saving her any effort. Caught off guard, Akari wondered how our protagonist would handle it now. The rich girl said back off, so our guy asked if she had stomach trouble. Nailed it, because the woman demanded to know how he guessed, called it irrelevant, and just wanted the sax. Yuzo said her constipation really explained the stinky breath she had. She snapped, ready to attack him, while Yuzo warned her to keep her grubby hands away. Livid and full of herself, she screamed for the boy to be thrown out. Her mustachioed boyfriend charged in from the noise. She instantly played the victim, lied about the sax for her son, and labeled our guy a criminal. The old man threatened to sue the kid, but Udo fired back first, accusing the woman of groping him. If she can't handle herself near Udo, her life must be a real mess. As they argued, she got intense cramps. Something ugly's coming. Thinking she's hurt, the old guy worried, but she rushed to the restroom. Udo demanded they hurry up, and the old man dragged his woman out, cursing away. That bonus mission earned Udo a new skill, the reviving hand, which he couldn't wait to try. Outside, the woman just can't hold it any longer. She's losing control fast, and security guards showed up too. The growing crowd attracted every gossiper nearby. Sadly, the woman just couldn't hold it. She lost. Surrounded by everyone, she just let it rip. She unleashed the universe's mightiest, most evil fart. That truly vile smell nearly made people cry. So nasty. The rich old man denied knowing the farting woman. Akari felt bad, but Yuto said it's payback for the idiocy back there. Things settled down, but the manager warned it could never happen again. Phone rang, manager answered, president furious, instantly fired him. It wasn't about Sasaki, the fart culprit. They angered someone key to the company, so the president told the manager to go out to learn more. Our boy bought the saxophone to soothe Mari. He claimed his contacts at the music company helped. The saxophone came as Yuto's favor. Shao's family runs that nearby shop. Akari saw her boy's subtle help kept her safe from an embarrassing video scandal. Now she closes in, itching to pay back kindness with cruel intentions. Shaken, Yuto confessed fear of a clash, thinking Akari might arrest him. It could have happened, but now they must get back to today's plans. An emergency interrupted everything. Yuto needs to go. He leaves to tackle hotel chaos, while Akari, intent on a steamy sweet encounter, watches him walk away. A woman shatters her mirror trying to understand how everything fell apart. On edge, she's ready to end her own life. The maid entered and picked up a strange odor. She reached the bathroom, saw something horrific, and shrieked in panic. Yu arrives at the hotel frantic, asking if anyone died and learns the guest has severe skin damage. The husband rages, blaming hotel contamination for ruining his wife's skin. An employee protests, saying the hotel sanitation matches the galaxy's best. He tries soothing the man, promising accountability if the staff was at fault. But the man won't chill. He demands compensation no matter what. He suggests a $500,000 payout and says not to use the hotel's account to keep it discreet. Better to run it through a personal account. The employee's about to do it, but the protagonist stops him to prevent an even bigger disaster after the transfer. The staff then threatens police action if the man keeps pushing after getting his payment. The thug strolls out grinning. The protagonist smells a scam. Such a low sum for major trouble. Just then, a scar-faced employee appears. Yu knows him, and he says the so-called boss liked their hotel and wants to buy it. The hotel staff realizes 5 coins insult them, then the thug flashes a package and threatens blackmail. He'll claim they're smuggling illegal goods. Yuto realized the sample was legit, so he jumped to report it first. The thug threatened to tell cops that everyone's involved, and the manager takes bribes to cover it. He has the manager's bank info they snatched in that earlier stunt. The thug waits for an answer. Give up the hotel or stay trapped in this mess. A few years behind bars is nothing to him, but the hotel won't survive this. Our protagonist grinned like a born villain. He scoffed. That's just a petty criminal. It'd be uglier if a real rival showed up flaunting lethal substances. Yu also pointed out the purity's weak. Under 90% purity news floored the thug since he doesn't peddle that poison, and scoring that sample was a grind. Oozing confidence, Yuto asked if the thug knew how he gained such clout or where the top-tier stuff really comes from. Yu told the manager, "Take this thug to the hideout, let's clue him in now." The thug froze, silent, suspecting Yakuza ties behind that hidden door. Yuto mocked that tiny illegal bundle. Even crooks know it's not sugar. It looks deadly. Yuto explained the process and purity, yet the demo sample was plain sugar. Now they'll see if this thug calls police or risks angering real criminals. Intimidated, he sensed he's facing a kingpin running the city's underworld. He apologized, blaming orders and repaying debt to his superior. The thug pleaded for a shot at loyalty, offering to work under Yuto. Our boy knows it's a desperate act, not remorse. A truly sorry scene. Light in a Cuban, our boy watched as the thug offered a finger or foot to prove himself. Yuto stopped him quickly, warning not to mess with blades, shocking the thug with his silent speed. What Yuto wants is the thug's help exposing the real planner. Yuto ordered the manager, close the hotel for a week, boost compensation for guests and staff. We're under threat. It'll look like their plan succeeded. The manager lit up when he saw the kid's moves. Even the mobster wanted in, but our boy told him to pass probation for appearances. The mobster gave more dirt about Fuji chasing the Yamada family. He clearly wants power over that family. They're weak, open for takeover, and Fuji's onto it. Fuji's prime target is the family's heiress. Yuto told the punk to meet Fuji for next steps. They also need to ID the seller of those substances. Yuto's got that job. He'll bring Akari up to speed right now. We head to Rio Kafuso. A stunning woman hears the hotel news from the punk, pleasing Fuji. The 50C deal worked. No clue if that's huge or hardly anything. Might be a translation mess. All I know? It's 50, but unclear more. Fuji wants her to sign the contract, promising her hefty dividends. She's not fixated on that, but on other clauses, Fuji offered her a room to handle things. Before she reads more, an urgent message lights up her phone. She bolts from the meeting. Fuji sulked and said he'd join her, left ignored, angry in his car when she didn't sign. A woman said sorry for unexpectedly dropping in on Miss Yamada. This is Mayumi, president of the investment company. They're crucial clients. Her father asked for this. Now the report's ready for her review. Mika saw the tech firm was fake. She pressed Mayumi about the documents. It hit the media. Mika can check it. Another firm's in on it, and she's reached out. Stepping out, she thanked Mayumi since that info is priceless. Our hero took it all in. Mayumi grumbled at him. After managing the firm, now she's his wingwoman. Yo insisted he wasn't into it. He needed her help. Admitting solo, he'd have filled the girl's head with nonsense. Mayumi laughs, agreeing that Mika is way too trusting. Unlike her, Yu claims he knows even tougher front commissions, leaving Mayumi flustered. Now he wants some fun since she's helped him. Riding around in the luxury car, Mayumi griped about the suspension, but it's her fault. She started fooling around inside. The phone buzzed and completely drained. Mayumi asked him to answer it. He checked the message. Yamada sent more documents, but our protagonist said they've already finished this job. Now it's wait and see actually. He just learned Akari caught every drug dealer near his hotel. Akari's ecstatic thanks to his vital info. They caught the kingpin and discovered Fuji is linked to missing women. They're close to catching Fuji. If they do, Akari will give our guy a reward. Meanwhile, Mika returned to the negotiation and quickly spotted a contract issue. Because of this, the other company clearly has financial issues. Any deal is now totally impossible. Fuji offered to investigate, but told his subordinate to discover who told the girl and quickly wired money to the company. Back with Mika, he shared good news. It's all a misunderstanding. She can confirm herself. Still, she's uneasy. Too much money's involved. Fuji repeats she can see for herself and he'll secure the assets. Mika's no fool. She knows Fuji actually owns that company. Money moves easily for him since the company isn't real. Just a prop to trick people. Fuji is rattled. He didn't expect Mika knew it all. She decided and notified the authorities. This is fraud and her visit was to expose him, not close the deal. She slid into her car, telling the driver to go flaunting a stun gun. He apologized for what was coming and shocked Mika hard with the stun gun. Fuji made sure she couldn't just leave, and now she's been taken somewhere else against her will. Mika demanded why Shinji did this, since he's Yamada family, but he's resentful. She gets everything and has never struggled. Now that Fuji promised he'll head the family, he refuses to serve anyone. Mika can't believe she's even related to this guy. Shinji said he doesn't want a sister like her. She's being erased forever, but he'll update her about their parents. Every 84 years now, he'll leave her with that shady guy. Turning from Fuji, the etcher got shot, collapsing and coughing blood, confused. Fuji called keeping him alive a worthless waste. Now he's a problem, growing dangerously violent. He realized Mika hadn't actually signed that contract. Everything's happening exactly his way. She has no escape from this setup. Mika questioned his fear. He admitted some worry if someone discovers it. Suddenly, a four-door sedan with a turbo engine appeared. Inside, our dazzling protagonist arrived to save her. He instantly knew his timing couldn't be better. He made a grand entrance with Akari, arresting the criminal right then. Police presence rattled them, making everyone more tense. He warned Akari to freeze or else, but she confidently ignored him. She fearlessly took him down in a harsh way. Now cuffed, Akari warned, "Try moving and she'll break something." The protagonist cheered her. Akari said she's experienced and they had to move. Others waited outside. The protagonist rushed to help Mika before Fuji could run. He called himself generous. He gave 50, now 5 more, but the villain doesn't get it as he's dragged away. Fuji vowed to himself this wasn't the end. He's got 20 coins left, enough for bail. Back out, he'll unleash chaos soon. He noticed all his allies were also caught. Still lost, he couldn't grasp the situation. He asked one guy what went down. A man said the company was in huge trouble. They assumed Fuji escaped, but he got caught too. Someone leaked their fraud scheme, and now the company is deep in debt. Taxes alone tanked their stock completely. Before the fall, someone sold out and pocketed 5 yen. The thug finally got how much the protagonist mattered. Even that beat-up goon got busted. While going down, he thanked our protagonist for looking out for him. Nobody suspects he's the traitor, so he stays safe. His whole family got arrested, making suspicion skip right over him. Our protagonist thanked him and wished the crook a decent stay in prison. With everything done, he's heading home for his bonus. A delivery arrived. The meal came with a surprise bottle of wine from the old delivery man. Out of thanks, the old man called it a lucky drink for whoever tries it. He finally feels like he has it all. The old man said, "Now all our guy needs is a wife." That same wine, if shared with a woman, supposedly leads to marriage. He doesn't buy it, but the old man swears the herbs inside are powerful. The old man dared him to taste the side effects to see if anything wild happens. Yu actually thinks the wine tastes amazing. He poured another, then decided to order a few more bottles for himself. His relaxing evening crashed when that beautiful woman found his place. She showed up to apologize, admitting she's always lived on autopilot. She still doesn't get her brother's betrayal and wonders if it's all her fault. Despite her confusion, Mika admits, "Our guy is different. He defended me like a hero." She looked into it and learned her dad never hired a consulting firm. Turned out it was all Yuto. Though he tried to deny, Mika wants to live honestly, sharing her real feelings moving forward. She's after our protagonist using every charm she knows. Like a true second place, she told him it's fine if he won't accept her. She flushed bright red, and our boy asked if she was alright, but she also has no idea what's causing this bizarre reaction. Suddenly, she feels like attacking her boy with everything she's got, wanting a brutal showdown and a sea of chaos. Yuto, baffled, figured out the wine was responsible. With wine still lingering on his lips, he barely has a second to think before the showdown hits him head-on. Mika simply craves living as her true self, a woman, all the time. Summoning his defenses, Yuto shoves her away. Mika, now bewildered, hears him confess he got a bit drunk after feeling rejected. Mortified, Mika rushed off, sorry about the mess, and nearly crashed into someone in the hallway. Our hero's friend later shared this. Mika seemed far from happy, using his hand to hold open the door. Yuto slammed the door shut, letting his friend in, who happily announced he came to celebrate too. With Fuji gone, it's finally time for them to let loose. The guys talk about an auction, where 30% goes to charity. Even if he's no good Samaritan, our boy's friend is here for the tax break, so charity wins. And a party like this means gorgeous women, so he's eager to dive in, especially to meet Shinzuka, a celebrity who Yuto just sees as a regular girl. His friend, though, totally idolizes her ever since enjoying her roles in some productions. She's laid low for a while, so he assumed she'd quit the scene. Bumping into her here was the last thing he expected. Shinzuko strode over to Yuto, saying he's still talking about people behind their backs, her voice instantly recognizable. Our boy's friend is left totally stunned by her. Quickly introducing himself, he then asks how our main guy never gets worn out flirting. Yuto insists they only went to the same school. His friend never heard this story about her transferring and him being her tour guide. Shinua claimed every boy wanted that role, but only Yuto appeared indifferent. Yuto teased her for being clueless, and she snapped back that acting jobs left her no time to study. Their chat was cut short, and Extra asked Shinua to escort him to the VIP room. Just being seen with those types is destroying his image. Irritated, Shinzuka seized the moment and dumped the Extra, saying they're a mismatch. Let's stick to our main character, Yohei, the rich heir with a serious attitude problem. Yuto gets why she avoided work so long. It's the sharp tongue, not her looks. First up at the auction is Shinzuka's old actress outfit. No one even bothered to bid. Looks like the Extra planned the auction just to embarrass her, as gossip popped up fast. Our main guy dropped 50 yen on that outfit. That low bid shook his childhood friend, making them feel targeted. He raises to 70 yen, even though his aim was to embarrass her. That's exactly what our hero wanted him to do. Now the pride battle really heats up. The bid hits 95 yen, but the Extra shoves it to 99 yen, ready to gloat to our protagonist. His rival's nothing but a rich, spoiled kid. He finally realizes he was baited and quits bidding. To save face, he claims it was just charity. Yu says, it's not reckless, if you want it, just bid. Next, a weird family stone, 50 starting, and weirdly, the Extras want it too. Our guy tosses his bid in. Even Yu calls him dumb for wasting cash. Then some old man claims it's not just a stone. Bakura, ancient and ultra rare. That logic feels off. Stones are old anyway. 1,000 years means little here. The crowd's wild, the old man's raving, but he just sounds crazy wanting that stone. Everyone flips out as they realize our boy wants the stone. The old man offers 100 yen to smoke it at his party. Our protagonist wants it too. Besides, the old guy screwed up. It's a Shiratama stone. He ups the bid fast to 200 yen, making even the auctioneer lose it. It gets sold immediately. Now the old man inspects the stone, shocked he got it wrong. Oddly, Shiratama isn't rare or pricey, but our protagonist hiked the price to show off. Still, everyone thinks the bid matches its real worth. Curious, the Extra bets our protagonist something big. The old man quickly realized our protagonist wasn't here to embarrass him, but wondered if he could make a profit off the stone. He noticed something that Master ignored and finally understood the real story. The value isn't in what it's made of, but its unique form. Pulling this off takes major skill, real craftsmanship. A true masterpiece can double its price. The old man said it's worth over 300 yen. He believed the rich family once owned it. Actually, it should go for 2,000 yen. A revelation that stunned everyone, even our hero's friend. Keeping it real, the old man admitted defeat to the younger guy. He must keep collecting stones to grow stronger. Our protagonist thanked this stone lover for staying so humble. Yuto only bought it to take its spiritual energy, a power he gained after saving Mika. Stones like this are the best fuel for that. He told the old man he could buy it back at auction price, since he wouldn't need it for long. Surprised, the old man listened as Yuto said he isn't in it for money, he just wants his mission done. Spectators were stunned by his move. Knowing the old man got real knowledge about stones, Yuto pitched him an idea. The old man, well connected to museums, offered our hero access to rare materials. Everything went perfectly for Yuto, unlocking new paths to powerful items. He also praised our hero's great skills. Few can pull off what he did, but not everyone was happy, especially the guy from the start. He dropped 300 yen at the auction. If his parents found out, he'd be in deep trouble before leaving. He bumped into our hero's friend, who guessed the guy was scheming, and our protagonist won't let that slide. The guy claimed he wasn't hiding, just short on cash, but when Akamatsu's developed developed, they'll get it all. That's our boy's neighborhood, so now he asks how the guy heard that tale. He claims word is everywhere up high, though no one knows who started it. Now he gets why he was so hard on the old lady. He needed her to make him pay back his debt. They forced him to sign a contract so there's no skipping out on what he owes. She called him and said she can't sell the apartment like she promised. Yuto figured out she needs extra cash, but said they'll talk later since he's busy. The actress thanked Yuto for stepping up that day and admitted she loves his new dependability. He asked if she has any jade on her now. She showed him a tiny pendant around her neck. Yuto asked to see it, using its energy for his own touch of magic. By adjusting the amulet, he learned Shinzuka's health struggles and knew all her issues. She'll seriously feel better after this? They said bye. She teased him for saying stuff in public, though secretly she likes that he's still the same guy. Our boy met the old lady and a strange man with her. His name's Kato, a mugging group owner and high-powered CEO. Kato wants to snap up the hero's apartment right now. He said our guy should sell, claiming he'll cover any losses. Someone's pressuring the old lady hard. They're using her son against her to do it. Our guy already spotted these sharks chasing easy real estate money. Still, the old lady's crushed, totally helpless here. But he always finds a way, no matter what. Suddenly, it's ego versus ego, and he's ready to see if Kato has what it takes. Kato called bodyguards, sneering, "Let's teach him a lesson." Still, Yuto dropped them all. Then, out of nowhere, the police showed up. Kato accused our guy of starting a fight and blamed him for hurting people. Our boy wanted to defend himself, but the cop snapped at him, so Yuto ended up cuffed while their tense looks said everything. Kato and the cop must be partners, or maybe they're dating. That's the only explanation. Even losing a little, he's overly sure of himself. They took our boy to the station, where he told the cop that picking that scammer was a mistake. Irritated and smug, the cop boasted, "This is his turf, he makes the rules." Kato knows our boy has cash, but he's trapped by the evidence. To fix things fast, he has to sell that apartment, but our boy swore he won't give up any property there. That only makes Kato angrier since he's already making property deals. He got a shock call. Everyone's demanding sky-high prices for their properties. It gets worse. Paying those prices will ruin them. Apparently, everyone just got offered 5 times the usual rate. Kato quickly realized he was looking straight at whoever made those offers. Half an hour earlier, Yuto called, knowing more than the old lady is at risk. He told Miyumi, if he's silent, announce a 5-fold property deal to the residents. The extras were wowed by that announcement. Now Kato's losing it. This could put him out of business. Yuto shrugged, not his problem. Kato can deal with his own mess. Suddenly, a heavyset guy steps in. Definitely the mayor. He's mad at Kato for failing to buy even one place. Kato blames our boy. The lead recognized the mayor from the news, but the mayor doesn't know our boy. Finds out he's totally new in this game. The mayor got meaner with Kato. Udo told him he'll rot in jail if the cops hear about the scam. Unfazed, the mayor grabbed the cop's gun and threatened our boy, insisting there's no evidence. A goon claims the room is locked down tight. No escape fear is the guard. The mayor tries to bully our boy to sell. Meanwhile, Udo instantly recognized the goon in glasses. This proves everything, especially with no cameras around. Udo flexes, snapping the cuffs like they're nothing. He's about to teach these extras the real meaning of pain. After dropping everyone, Udo took the mayor's phone to play around, making the fatso freak out. The fat guy tried threatening him, but Udo just laughed it off. Wondering what Udo was up to, the fat guy saw he was live streaming outside. A few hirelings grew scared over the silence. Claiming he was attacked, the fat guy started yelling for help. Then the cops stormed in and took down our hero. He thought he had it in the bag. The mayor gloated, but the police chief arrived full of questions. Now pure fears written across his face. The mayor blamed confusion, but the evidence proves he's just a pathetic, corrupt loser. His bald goon got busted messing with the hero's elderly friend. Things are even worse. Our hero's got more proof in hand. The mayor's own phone exposes his illegal money. He's flailing. He snaps, shouting, "Our hero's accusing me with nothing, but the recording is damning." The girl there is a streamer. She caught the threats on record. Thanks to that, the streamer feels great about helping this time. Yu checked in with Ma to lock their untouchable plan down. And just like that, the fat, corrupt mayor was caught. He tried hiding money in fake antiques. But Yuto, knowing the game, exposed the mayor's cheap forgeries. Now even the crooks are fighting each other. With evidence piling up, the police chief leads the investigation as the mayor's cup. The fat guy still tries to say all the city's progress was thanks to his chubby little hands and fingers that look like bread rolls. After all that, Yuto thanked Ma, who was key to everything that happened. Without her, he'd have been in big trouble. The girl even asked him to save her phone number so she wouldn't have to be contacted through her streams. They were soon interrupted by a man who found an object on the ground and decided to ask if it belonged to either of them. Ma immediately recognized the small piece that looked valuable, the man said, and Ma realized she should be more careful. A woman in costume walked up to them, recognizing Takara right away. He got embarrassed. She'd been watching him for a while, running her hand across his forehead. She said, "The guy is really sweaty because of the heat that day." Figuring he might be thirsty, she offered to buy some water. Takara can't even believe a girl that beautiful is his fan. Our protagonist looks at the situation very coolly because this guy is about to go out with a girl he met on the internet, giving him some solid advice. He told him to be careful because not everything is what it seems. Takara said he'd never be fooled because he's a good judge of people. Poor guy. Classic line from someone who usually ends up the victim. Finally, the girl came back with some drinks. She's already eager to take Takara somewhere more private, and even Yuto realized a fierce fight might happen soon. The system told Yuto the beginner missions were completed. It's time to get more serious. When it was time to pick the difficulty, our boy was rational and humble. He chose to start with easier stuff. Mara watches him, not understanding that hand gesturing at empty air, and soon noticed Takara left with someone, and she's still alone feeling a mix of frustration and anger. Exit. She deliberately bumped into Yuto saying, "Men are all the same." Because of that, Yuto chose the hardest difficulty. He has to recruit 3 elite talents, take his company to the highest level in a month. If he fails, he'll have urinary incontinence. Yu was really bothered by that and not knowing the real reason he was bothered. Mara started apologizing, devastated. That shove caused a crushing psychological blow to our boy, but his panic will have to wait. That old stone appraiser got in touch with him to talk about stones, something cares about since more power will always be necessary for his journey going to a museum. The old man recommended he found a really ancient stone from a very, very long time ago. They quickly chat about the stone, curious about those flower carvings linking to the old man. Our boy asks a favor. The old man warns they'll need caution. One slip could ruin years of effort, yet the old man trusts him, decides to join his team for more skilled help. Yu wants the old man to suggest people, which isn't easy. Cash can't buy it all. Suddenly they're serious. The old man asks if our boy has a relic license, shocking Yuto, who has no clue what that means. Yuto then realizes he nearly blew it big time. He can't lose the old man. No way. Not with a long hospital stay haunting him. Yuto spots a crowd trashing a streamer, so he questions the manager about the commotion. A streamer showed up with a fan, which clearly stirred up chaos. It's the same girl from last chapter. The protagonist already seems to know exactly what's happening, which shocks everyone. The girl claims to be a boy dressing up for fun. Stripping down, he proves it in front of all. His chest is totally flat. The streamer is arrested. He tried doing something off limits, now stewing in all those angry looks. He tries every excuse, but the furious crowd only mobs him more. That fan loves watching this drama right up close. Our boy instantly suspects it's probably all an act. He warns the streamer, but gets completely brushed off. The manager nervously worries this will ruin the hotel's fame. Our boy then checks if that guy is really a streamer, digging up Takura's huge online profile. Everyone hears about his arrest real fast, due to what happened with the fan. Crushed, Takura insists it's a setup. He was lured alone by her false promise to show something. She cried assault just seconds into private time. By then, the crowd was totally against him. Desperate, Takura bolts, guards on him, but the protagonist is the one who stops it all. Takura saw that our boy tried to warn him, but he'd been a fool to ignore him. Taking his chance, he said if Takura joined him, he'd help. Takura begs them to check the cameras to clear his name, but there aren't cameras near him, and people stay angry. The one milking this chaos is the conniving fan, acting like a victim. The manager will apologize on behalf of the hotel and place her with a specialist till police come. The girl said not to cause drama but didn't finish. Last month had a similar staged scam with money demanded. Cunningly, the woman uncovered that Shamira is a former worker making fake accusations. Now, facing accusations, she started flashing forged documents used once before. Everyone demands this person explain himself. A man in a hat called the culprit disgusting because of lies about subway crimes. Turns out, he framed innocent people and even cost someone a job. He's known as a pro gamer. Still, with loads of evidence, the lying crossdresser keeps playing the victim. Another victim appeared, this time a driver whose coffee was drugged and was accused of drunk driving, thankfully caught on camera. He's got proof showing what happened. All this began because our main character wanted to protect a clueless streamer from real danger. Now the police are here, and Kimura is asked to come make a statement. Handcuffed, he still blames his victims for being dumb, claiming everyone pretends to be good while secretly exploiting others. Once the truth came out, the streamer broke down in tears. Now he's in a meeting with Yuto, making their partnership official. If no one helped, he'd be in jail. The main dude has almost gathered 3 top recruits this week. Takara, relieved, vowed to give his all. Then a gorgeous woman appeared bearing big news. She put up a retraction about the hotel thing, but it vanished. They've clearly made some tough online enemies this time. Yuto asked the new guy who these enemies are. He remembered warning fans about digital coins irritating some folks. If you work in that field, hidden enemies are always around. Takara swore he'd be cautious, and now our boy is pushing him into the digital trading world. That instantly made the boy anxious, wondering if he'd end up selling real stuff or running a scam. Yuto warned that everything is fake online. No streamer streamer promotes legit deals, which freaked Takara out since he's got a moral line he'd never cross. With all seriousness, Yuto insisted the boy pay his debt after scaring him senseless. Meanwhile, our main guy just cracked up at the chaos unfolding at the rival office. A man with a mustache tunes in to watch the show. When the Ming Dynasty vase was on auction, the mustache man raged to see Takara carrying on his business. Furious, he complained to his henchmen who couldn't even handle knocking Takara out of the game. They explained someone powerful's got Takara's back, making things a lot tougher. Turns out, a rising rookie company is helping Takara, and their growth is lightning fast. These guys once ruled antiques, but now competition has them sweating. Now, it's time to remind everyone who's really in charge. Tomorrow, the mustache man unveils his plan and gives strict instructions. Our lead walks the antique market with another dazzling beauty who dreams of his baby. He set her straight. It's not a date. She just wanted to tag along since those concert tickets came from an old man who knows rare gems. He's hunting for a hidden gem. Spotting a vase, the girl guesses Ming Dynasty, but Yuto shrugs. Just a copy. She grabs another piece. Again, Yuto says fake. Calls out the necklace too. It's all counterfeit. It's just glass. But she still enjoys the stroll with our hero until Yuto eyes a street vendor and grows intrigued by his wooden piece. The vendor claims it's real rosewood, asking for 1 yen 80 sen. Even the boy's trainee sensed the bargain for 80 sen, so our protagonist decided to buy it. They jump into bargaining mode. The boy's shown extra keen interest, driven by his own system. He soon learns the wood dates back further, scoring way more value than he'd thought. Turns out, difficulty pays off. The system unlocked crafting secrets beyond normal skill. Now, the intern's desperate to find treasure at the fair too. With a knife, our boy swiftly shaped the wood. An old man noticed, impressed, and asked to see it up close. Spotting its value, the old man offered to buy our boy quickly refused. The intern's already losing her patience. Empty-handed, she snatched the rare pipe from our hero. She craves the great Yuto until the old man returns, breathless with men determined to block our boy's escape. The old man finally introduced himself. His name is Nagano. He's famous for loving ancient relics around here. Nagano says the pipe is no kid's toy, urging again for a sale. Yuto grabs the boy's shoulder and refuses again. Nagano wonders if the item's off limits because it's stolen. Police investigations mentioned. Yuto realizes he's accused of theft. The old man quizzes a nearby stranger for his view. The stranger admits it looks shady. Nagano craves the pipe, and it's odd for a boy to have it. It might even be a stolen national treasure. The old man's playing tough, warning the item could be seized by authorities. Thinking he'll get his way, the old man tells the boy to sell the pipe and dodge trouble. The intern snaps, telling him to stop hurling wild accusations. Right there is the bald man who feels like a real government type. The old man insists the case needs urgent assessment. Annoyed, the intern says she'll record everything, and the boy pulls out his knife, ready to show his skills. Panic hits the old man, fearing he'll be harmed. Everyone freezes, and our protagonist acts fast, terrified out of his skin. Nagano panics, Yuto warns, stay still or you'll get hurt without trying. Yuto noticed rose patterns etched deeply into the old man's clothes. It looks so stunning. Locals snap photos wildly, angry and reckless, nearly in a frenzy. The old man swore our boy would face payback for this disgrace. Yuto despises the so-called collector, who can't even name what he's wearing. The bald guy recognized it. Classic old school craft, something only a master learns. This bragging pushed the bald guy to act bolder and stir up more trouble. The skill is perfect. Realizing Yuto's mastery, the bald guy bowed, introduced himself, and revealed his elite appraiser family with unexpected respect. Yuto withheld his name, refusing after being accused so unfairly. Now the old man's shocked because his informant confesses, our boy's technique blows everyone else away. Proof? A restored artifact sold for over 200 million, all in the boy's mastered style. The bald guy tried training in that style but simply hadn't the talent for it. He must be dangerous too. If he wanted to, he could end the old man and informant immediately. Realizing Yuto's true power, the old man returns, full of regret. Apologetic, he promises to treasure the knife-carved shirt because it's a gift, though his presence only adds to the discomfort of the intern and our hero. Since he already made the shirt, Yuto asked him to claim it's a Mitch Company gift. Once they're clear, the intern asks where our boy picked up the skill. Yuto claims he's self-taught, but she, with her wild imagination, thinks he learned it to slice up women's clothes. Yu claims he'd never do that, but the intern's doubts linger. She says her background in criminal psych leads her to believe some urges can't be held back, and if he must act, she'd sacrifice herself. Yu brushed her off, firmly saying she's talking nonsense. Now he wants to hit the convenience store. Meanwhile, the jealous rivals plot. A goon from the mustache man arrives with updates. The scheme has begun, but there's danger. This male group's loaded with cash. And for the mustache man, the Rosie and Iori schools aren't involved. Those schools invented the technique our boys now nailed, making the little mustache guy eager to teach challengers a tough lesson. Back with Takara, our boy checks on the sales, shocking the guy who thought that talk was just joking around. Still, daily donations arrive from someone grateful to the mail group. Takara gets blindsided by a man accusing him of streaming fake Vosses. The streamer owns up, calling the Voss cheap, but the man says his daughter suffered mercury in the Voss. The man says his daughter developed cancer because of it. The writer took it too far with that twist. Takara denies it, saying it's a mix-up, but the man insists, citing trusted labs. It's heartbreaking. The little girl's just 2, hit with this harsh allegation. Yuto starts reading files. The man reveals protesters are marching against corrupt companies. The manager consults the protagonist about handling this real crisis. Yuto wants the crowd to grow, until the man with the little mustache makes a grand entrance. He says he leads the Husino group, bearing his name, and promises to fix everything. He calls the antiques business sacred, while blaming greed for its ruin. He claims the May group ignores kids, but promises he's a different leader. He likes money, not betrayal. He suggests a fund for victims, if they prove they bought bad goods. The little mustache guy suddenly skyrockets in popularity. The extras hail him as a hero. He boots the May group for selling trash. The crowd roots for him and wants the main character gone. Someone grabs Yuto to shove him out, but gets slammed to the floor as a lesson. Hosino warns Yuto to leave before things spiral even more. Yuto says his act beats the actors just standing by. If this was film, he'd back Hosino without thinking. The guy's built a wild story. He must really have a ton of spare time. Yuto asks where he found so many actors willing to pretend. Hosino flashes his phone filled with complaints against the mayor's group. Yuto calls it all fake. They didn't even fact-check the claims. An actor claims he saw the crime but slips up, exposing his own game. He takes a vase for testing, making sure orders are clear and strict. Amid all this madness, the cops showed up to fix it. Hosino started freaking out. He hadn't seen this coming. One cop caught proof of bribery to sneak in extra mercury. Turns out only one vase got tampered with. The others are legit. The worker confessed, but gets off this time because he was forced. Our genius protagonist planned it all. With his insane instincts, he said the mercury guy better watch his health. Just as he warned, the extra's arm started turning crazy dark. Now all that anger lashes at Hashino, who said he'd be just fine. Right then, cops ordered him to the station, and Hashino told his crew to chill out. He believes they'll figure it out. Meanwhile, Takara's broadcast keeps blowing up. That market guy finally tracked down our main character. Nagano brought rare pearls as a peace offering for old mistakes. He apologized to Hashino for the gift, but Yuto waved it off. Worse, the pearls were fake. Nagano panicked, thinking about those wasted 20 yen. Yuto insisted they were fake, making Nagano feel mocked until he saw the truth. Now he's raging at Hashido, especially since it's all over the broadcast. Our hero's fame soared. Takora let fans meet the May Group president. The first mission's done. Now 3 prodigies work for him, though he's clueless why. Takura wanted to know if Yuto's workers were in on it. Yuto said he owns the factory. A small bribe meant nothing. He set up Hashido from the start. The last owner cared about his people, until easy money tempted him. He quickly became flexible and gave in. Still, Takura doesn't get how Yuto knew Hashido would get snared. He flashed a fake gold coin that looks real to amateurs. Takura knows now why Hashido was after him. Clearly, those coins were bad news with all that shady business. The thief was easy. Takura figured his boss is trickier than any crook. With the mystery done, it's stream time. Saki and Mika stormed in, worried sick about him. They saw the chaos on the news and raced over, being extra careful. Mika's already prepped a backup plan to kick in right away. Poisoning's tricky, but good contacts can save company rep fast. Yuto thanked them but said the answer came too late for him. Just had them tune into the news again. Hearing the twist, Saki got mad. He should have told her sooner that all was fixed in hours. Out for food, Saki ate until totally stuffed and happy. He jumped in, or Saki would never stop eating. He pushed for a walk, but she had to rush to class. She left, hoping he'll pamper her soon. Yuto jokes she just sees him as a wallet. Now he's stuck sorting out things with Mika, who won't leave his side. It's late, and they took a walk. Mika's seeing her parents after this. First time since she nearly snapped at him, but now she acts normal. She figures he's not interested and starts thinking she must really annoy him. Yuto saw her talents. He offered her a part-time company job. She'll analyze investments, post-grad, she'll run her family's empire. Mika, shocked, asked which field and Yuto said pick anything she wants. Now paranoia kicks in. Mika sees herself as special. Sure, he's setting her up to shine. Yuto's just fulfilling the system's mission, so Mika throws in her own request. She asks for more warmth from him, making Yo suspect she's drunk again. He's right. She passes out cold. Yuto drops her off at her fancy mansion before heading out. A stunning woman thanks him, thinking he's staff and doesn't notice his real role. Unbothered, Yuto just asks them to look after Mika and leaves. She bristles at his tone with Mika, but stops when the girl sleepily mumbles for Yuto. Mika's mom realizes they're close, panics, and offers him 10 yen to stay away forever. Jean's shabby Yuto says forget it, he's actually in contract with Mika. He'll give her money instead, but the old lady still thinks he's a gold digger needing wealth to join their ranks. Yuto boldly admits Mika matters to him, a key piece of his money plans. That hint of involvement makes the mom furious. She snaps, telling him to just name his price. He calmly drops his demand, 100 yen, sending her into a meltdown. With a harsh turn, Yuto tells her to chill and stop meddling. He's fed up. The old lady threatens police, but only because guests are coming. Mika wakes, asks about Yuto, gets told he's already left. Time to change. Her father's special guest is on the way. A good meeting will lock in their family's stability for years to come. Their guest arrives. Everyone treats Rokujo like royalty until he tells them to ease up. The Yamada boss insists. They share tough work inside the company. Rokujo remembers how he quit after rejection, then met someone who turned his world upside down. Nico, his pop idol-looking virtual assistant, backs up his story. She changed her avatar's outfit just for him, perfectly syncing with her oddball creator. He craves his dose from fictional characters only. The Yamada group looks down on him, and I get it, but this wild obsession is profitable. The Nikiko project's hot right now, sparking this meeting. Mr. Yamada apologized for ditching the virtual girlfriend idea. His ex-employee said you can't rewind time. That's when Mika walks in, dressed differently. The matriarch's ready to use her daughter as leverage, urging them to talk new market trends. The weirdo already got Nico working on analyzing that woman. Mr. Yamada noted Mika's in college, but the weirdo doesn't care. Since she's his ex-boss's daughter, that makes it even simpler for him. The matriarch's hopeful, guessing Rokujo wants the girl, and Mr. Yamada refuses to use his daughter as a business chip. Rokujo proved he's strange by wanting to question that young woman. If he proposes, the matriarch will thank God. Mika stays away from our hero. Mr. Yamada's furious, intent on preventing that from happening. But the weirdo flaunted an article about Mika's talk with the anonymous millionaire, our protagonist, and all he wants is a meetup. Sure, Miko set it up. Unfortunately, Mr. Yamada misunderstood and smacked Rokujo with a plate, declaring he'd never sell his daughter to a virtual girlfriend guy. Once it made sense, our hero got sent to Mika's place. Called in haste, he worried, but it turned out not that important to him anyway. When the matriarch saw our hero, she fumed again. Rokujo's waking up, confused. Seeing his idol before him, Rokujo lit up with joy. He said, our hero likely forgot, but at the charity auction, he bought an old stone for 200 yen. I was the seller. With that cash, he saved his digital dream. The matriarch felt sick. She's facing a filthy rich young guy now. The weirdo still recalls that game-changing auction and the 200 yen for his stone. He risked his savings at the auction, hoping someone would see the item's worth. Otherwise, he'd have to sell Nico and erase her emotion circuit. But now Nico can swap outfits to match her creator's mood thanks to him. Even Nikiko thanked him for saving her personality. Mr. Yamada knows 200 yen is precious to a young person. Now the matriarch wants it back and she's completely cornered. Nico saw everything. So she recorded the matriarch's earlier words and faces everyone since they already know. Rokujo said this is a big deal and told Yuto to consider a partnership with the Yamada group. Mika researched this AI for her dad and wants to share her findings. The Dream Synchronizer needs a special charger. Cutting costs by 40% is possible. Plus, 60% of Nikiko's premium users live in the same West region as the Yamada group. With Yamada's network, they can pinpoint the audience's buying habits. You saw these great results. The contract's ready, and the weirdo signed since Nico checked everything. Miko now wants details about her mom's talk with him. The matriarch brushed it off, then admitted Yuto demanded 100 yen to keep away from the girl. The matriarch wants them split, so Mika thinks he made that absurd offer on purpose. Still, she's set on proving her worth to him. She declared he'd see in the future, leaving Yuto afraid. 3 days later, the weirdo called Yuto to share more AI updates. Heading there, Yu met people in costumes judging him for looking normal, and wondered if he had the address right. Someone mentioned interview criteria include virtual character design. That explains the costumes, but he said he came for real work since he's an adult with a life. A girl in glasses said interviewees should show up as characters they've portrayed. It's their way of living the company culture. The redhead said Nikiko's company is revolutionary because of Roko, so someone like Yuto doesn't fit. He found them strangely ordinary in their own worlds, which annoyed a girl who sees them as trailblazers. Yuto's just a relic who doesn't get why virtual immersion is worth it. A little later, Rojo rushed in, got applause from some fantasy background characters. Rojo skipped the extras, went straight for our protagonist. Glad he showed up, Rojo's way of treating Yuto just left the extras even more puzzled. Worse, their interview got scrapped since Rojo forgot he invited Yuto and never thought he'd appear now. Before leaving, Yuto told the red-haired extra not to treat strangers badly. He turned to the nice girl, asked if she'd join him, and she agreed. His popularity helped. Our hero suggested they let the glasses girl do the interview. She's already amazed by the place just from walking around. Yuto wondered about the equipment and was staring at the memory resonance device. Nico scans the user's significant memories like grief for lost loved ones. This lets them make a virtual world for users to gain new memories. Their big selling point. Some users have wild demands. The virtual world feels shockingly real. He'll get it all once he tries for himself. The oddball will wait outside, tells our guy to call if he needs anything during his wait. Mika enters where he waits. She and the oddball arrange this. Yu is confused since an hour back, nothing happened. Mika had the same experience herself, which sparked her killer idea. The oddball said, our guy's about to try the device. Want to meet him soon? To Mika. She had a new brainstorm and now needs Rokujo's help. Right now, the oddball watches Mika approach our main character. She's got strong memories with him still, so she sends those memories into Yuto's simulation, leaving him mixed up. Mika studies him, searching for any sign he'll push her away. No one steps in, and Mika grows more nervous as she loses focus. She missed our hero's hand moving closer and him grabbing her chest. Yuto was blown away by the realism, but soon recognized his loyal friend's figure. He squeezed, amazed by the feel of that massive balloon. He stopped, weirded out that Mika wasn't reacting at all. Thinking about taking off the glasses, a wild attack caught him off guard. Mika kissed him. Yuto is stunned because the simulation nailed Mika's scent, and she told him to focus. He just has to stick to the script. After a long, wild fight, he's blown away by the simulation. Now he's wondering if this all comes from his own hidden desires. In the hallway, he met the weirdo asking about the experience. Yuto blushes, completely unsure how to explain it, revealing he's seen weirdness before by his face. He's certain something more happened. A few assistants appeared to ask Rokujo if anything happened since Nico's been out for 30 minutes. They're working non-stop to fix it, but nothing works. After hearing that, Yuto gets just how real things felt. The girl with glasses said this AI shouldn't be down this long. She's read Rokujo's book 3 times and knows the subject well. Guessing something happened, Rokujo rushed to the server room and found thugs. They taunted, it's pointless letting Nico stay with such a weirdo. Rokujo quickly spotted that villain from Star Cyber Company. He offered 150 million yen to buy the AI, showing no shame. Anyway, they've already called the cops. Rokujo won't negotiate, but the thug clutches the AI loaded USB, ready to smash it. The girl with glasses instantly sees this could end the project forever. She tries to save the USB, knowing Nico's irreplaceable, but the thug easily shoves her away. Almost smug, he said. Not even the police can save you from Star Cyber. Rokujo stays unfazed. Before the goons escaped, they got blasted by a brutal electric shock. Stunned, they drop. Now someone's set to use some mysterious spray on them. A strange spot on each starts burning like fire. Rokujo said Nico had caught the message. Giant ice packs are prepped to cool them off, frightening the thugs as everyone watched their meltdown. They missed a key detail in that high-tech spot. Nico has more than one way to defend herself. Messing with her takes real work. Now the girl with glasses feels foolish, thinking she panicked for nothing. But for Rokujo, that was too much already. She got her job through that company. The glasses girl is shocked at what she scored. Looking at our hero, Rokujo apologized for the wild scene. Honestly, security is a top feature at that company. They even work directly with the government. They can even provide this service at the hotel for our protagonist free of charge. Our boy has one task left on his list. He must make his company own the market. If not, his troubles will get nasty. He can't buy another company with his cash, upping the challenge. His mind raced until a call snapped his focus. It was that old man's assistant, the familiar face from the fair. Seems urgent. Yuto visited the Cultural Heritage Association, and Rokujo was there too. Pure coincidence. Inside, the department head said he checked Rokujo's plan. They want solid security for national treasures and wonder if an AI firm is up to it. Rokujo fully trusts her company's best-in-class security systems. The old man wants more than promises. They need to win over his bosses. Genuine words are key, and maybe the old man will side with them if it's truly honest. Rokujo suspected a bribe, so our boy called out the director for risking corruption. Stung, the old man snapped back, warning our hero. Still fuming, he grilled Rokujo for bringing such a jerk. Yuto swore he didn't know the guy either. He claimed to be a stranger, angering the old man further and bringing security. The old man also brushed off Rokujo, told them to redo their work, and left them hanging. That works for Rokujo, not about to bribe anyone. Back to the bald collar waiting for our hero. He tells his boss the solution is already on its way. Spotting Yuto in the hallway, he instantly rushed to talk to him. None of them thought Yuto would be waiting in the meeting room, and being tossed out left the Minister of Culture in shock. Storming in, they demanded to know what the obese old man had done. The old man, feeling humiliated, knew trouble was coming for him. Uto restores the Dragonbane, so how did someone so important get thrown out? You revealed there's corruption since the old man demanded a bribe. The minister is stunned by this accusation. While the old man dreads his fate, the bald guy promised he'd be punished for corruption. Switching gears, he pleaded for help, showing Yuto a strange ancient cauldron from a foreign land. 3 years later, faded air is ruining inscriptions, and they can't fix it right. Experts want too much money, but they're broke. The bald guy begged for help so the artifact could attract investors to the city. Our boy saw he must pull off a tough task for free, something he honestly hates. The Minister of Culture has almost lost hope. Presenting it as is seems best, but Yuto insisted it's not a money or technical problem. The real issue: can they gather the needed restoration materials? Hearing this, the bald guy's energy returned. You said he needs full research on Chrome inscription from 2,000 years ago. Then he can do it. Now hope sparks in the minister's eyes, and our boy is taken to the artifact's vault. At this bank, he can check ancient scrolls and heads out to meet the manager. She said it's closing time and asked him to come back tomorrow. You told her he's on government orders and waved his diamond card. The woman with glasses instantly recalled who he was. If it was business hours, she'd treat him royally, but not now. Our boy considered taking all his money out, but the woman just said to do as he wishes. That's when an old man burst in, panicked. He said he was sorry for everything. He insisted it's just a misunderstanding. He asked the manager to dinner so he could apologize to our boy. She agreed, but said she'd drive herself. She preferred that since his car's fallen apart, and that jab stung the old man's pride as they left for dinner. You said the old man's giving in too much. Managers can't act like that, but he doesn't blame her. He knows exactly how she feels. Not long ago, she was a regular staffer. Our boy always asked for her, and soon she became the manager. Her career skyrocketed in months, all thanks to the supposed bond with our boy. Staff started treating him super nice, and you caught on fast, but that woman never bothered to thank him. People realized you shift overnight. She could quit right now and still have an easy, happy life. At the restaurant, the woman ordered a pile of pricey dishes. Fujiwara said it's way too much for 3. She claimed it's the least for Yuto, he's special, and anything left is coming home with her. Yuto and the old man saw her plan: get fired, take a payout, and live well. She went to the restroom, and a worker told Mr. Fujiwara that his signature gift was ready. Those desserts are exclusive and need months' notice. They're for VIPs only. Just a small gesture with meaning. You loved the treatment, eager to return the kindness. He asked if Fujiwara wanted to see the unruly manager face consequences. Fujiwara looked uneasy, but said he must help staff get ahead. That's when our main guy asked what he really thought. Fujiwara wondered if everyone could win here. After eating, the manager noticed they stopped and instantly got set to pack it all up. You grabbed her arm and scolded her way too at ease doing that stuff. He added that dessert has never been offered to him. Suspicious, the woman promised she could send him one every single day. You hinted she could be hiding things way more valuable. That made the manager squirm. You briefly discussed the bank's presence with Fujiwara. Our boy got nothing. All those gifts add up to more than 10 yen. Now the manager looked terrified. She wanted the old man to back her, but he just sat in cold silence. Panicking, she offered to give back everything if our boy asked. Said she struggled to reach him. Yuto sees right through her, since she knows his number and address. Now she's facing his lawyers. Fujiwara didn't like that move. He's got his own image to guard. The manager felt kind of accepted and said she'd start following his example. He immediately brushed her off, saying an internal audit would handle it, which totally crushed her pride. That meeting cleared out one more problem from the place. Our boy admires the old man's stance. What she did was bad. The manager will spend years in jail for stealing so much right before zipping off in her car. A chunk of rock shattered her windshield. A wealthy girl claimed the manager scraped her car. As payback, her crew destroyed the manager's ride. Getting her hair tugged, the manager threatened to call police, saying she was being forced to pay the rich girl. Since she couldn't pay 50 yen, the rich girl decided to just take her car instead, letting her crew tear it up. Fujiwara somehow knew this girl would stir up chaos. Watching the scene, he asked if our protagonist would really help the manager who stole so much. Our boy's sharp eye noticed that spoiled girl was the bespectacled intern from yesterday, so he just discovered something way deeper about her. He knew it was time to dig for answers. Later, he crashed Uchima's birthday, a fellow older man, and met his daughter. They live way out in the country, since the old man loves clean air. Yu only showed up knowing the old man wanted a word, but the daughter kept throwing digs at our boy. Inside, a crowd of high rollers filled the house for his big day. Fukami stands out, the police chief himself, loading up on compliments for being in the family. The old man told Fukami, "Step it up, you're skipping work just to be here." Still, the inspector promised he wouldn't skip such a celebration and already cleared his tasks. Finally, she led our hero to her dad. He thanked Yuto for the saxophone, leaving our guys stunned after so long apart. They'd met once, but the old man's memory was sharp. Fukami asked Akari about our hero, already jealous. Her respect stung him. Fukami's convinced our boy is too weak to guard his sister, and it already bothers him. On hearing this, Yuto replied, "Appearances can fool you." The police inspector disliked that and braced for a harsh retort. The rivalry turned fierce. The chief inspector claimed he'd only unleashed 30% power. He burned with rage. But he's set to finish our hero his attacks drag. He's too slow. He misses every blow. Suddenly, the chief inspector reels in pain, holding his head. Spectators began worrying over Fukami. Some suspected our hero might have cheated. Still sick, Fukami insisted he could fight on, but his words barely dry. He vomited heavily. The bodyguard warned, if our boy cheated, he'll pay for it. But the inspector insisted it wasn't cheating and vowed a fair fight. Yuto mocked, saying it's easy to beat someone sick, they'd fall in half an hour. The system revealed a brain parasite in Fukami, predicting death soon if untreated. The bodyguards dismissed his warning as nonsense. Nervous, the inspector insisted, impossible, he gets checked every few months. Yuto pressed, had he visited Southeast Asia near 2 coastal nations lately? Judging by his face, he had. It's where such parasites thrive in a former bioweapons zone. Now he's sick with one of the deadliest parasites. Standard tests miss it. That news made the old man anxious, but the inspector alone knows the truth. When the poison spreads, it stabs inside like needles into your bones. Fukami suffers brutally. Every symptom hits at once. Akami, desperate, asks if there's anything they can do. After the chaos, they let Fukami rest in another room. Akami carries water over, doubting that's really all it takes. It's our hero's first time, so he'll need care, and he says it's going to hurt. Fukami shrugs off the warnings, declaring men need to endure and only wants to prove it to his sister. Yuto begins, sticking in the needle, repeating, and bringing sharp pain to his patient. But thanks to the system, the procedure becomes easy. The onlookers are terrified by what they're seeing. It looks excruciating. Yuto finds the parasite and jabs with precision. It was cleverly hiding in a tricky spot. Fukami faces unimaginable pain, but after that agony, he's finally cured. A guard asks about the parasite, suspecting a trick, so Yuto acts fast to prove otherwise. Seeing blood, the guard grows uneasy. Our hero tells him, look closely. There was the insect hidden, now visible after drinking blood. Everyone now gets that our hero's diagnosis was right. The old man asks if his son will recover. Our hero reassures him. This parasite, a rarity, now stays as evidence. It might point to an ambush. The elder expresses thanks as our boy heads out with the daughter. Despite Fukami's jealousy, her father now approves of her choice. That night, Fukami fully recovers, convinced he proved his toughness. Suddenly, he starts acting strange. His voice shifts, it sounds female. Someone checks on him. Fukami notices his voice and body now move femininely. Our hero recalls the final needle technique he used. He may have messed up a pressure point, causing total gender swap. Focusing back on his mission, our boy inspects the ancient relic. The minister's thrilled over this cauldron, non-stop raving as if time traveling beside the artifact. Yu covered his mouth with both hands. Too much moisture ruins things. Restoration looks done, but one more night will perfect it. Humidity and light have to stay stable so nothing gets messed up. Outside, our boy saw piles of supplies and asked about construction. Security's getting a makeover, and the intern with glasses runs it. She almost fell off her ladder but landed straight onto our hero. Once she realized she'd smushed Uto's face with her hip, she blushed in shame. Standing, she finally introduced herself. Her name's Nana, she works security now, and thanked Uto for helping during her interview. That gave her the confidence to score a job at the tech company. Our boy said he just opened a door, she did the rest, but she's deeply grateful, admitting her awkwardness and that without him, it wouldn't have happened. Yuto told her she seems bold. Scaring people is a talent. That immediately made Nana uneasy. Yu said, no worries. He needs to keep working, and left. Nana's lost but gets that our hero is super cautious. Yuto messaged on his phone, asking if Fujiwara found info on Nana. The old man's sharp. She's actually the secret daughter of Star Cyber Company's owner. Our hero is connecting all these dots. Maybe her interests extend past just that company. She has a brother who tried taking our boy down. Hoshino is his name. The family's attacking our hero from every angle. Time for him to strike back too. At the antiques event, guests are brought to see the cauldron. The minister boasts about a 3,000-year relic and reveals it, only it's suddenly rusty, and he has no idea why. Yuto said he only got hired for a quick gig. That's all he's got. With a crowd of reporters this time, the minister freaked out. It took seconds before guests started joking about the mess. Their acting's a joke. Nana rushed over with urgent news. They're not showing the real cauldron here. A fake was swapped in. The minister, desperate, asked if cameras caught anything. The data's been wiped. After checking, they pin it all on our protagonist. Everyone is stunned except our boy. Nana says some leftover images prove he's innocent. Police are on site now, ready to take our boy. He's the only suspect, so arrest is coming fast. Even accused, the minister fights for our boy. Sure, he's honest. The cop shows there's no mistake here. They got an anonymous lead. Our boy's getting arrested. The real cauldron's found. All evidence points to our boy. The press shouts, calling him a thief who deserves max punishment. It's finally Yuto's moment. Yuto's ready to surprise everyone. The day before, 4, Hoshino saw his crew. Sure, he'd win since nobody knows Nana's his sister. He got knocked out from behind while plotting. Hoshino demanded answers from his crew. The guy said he was just hyped thinking about their shiny future. They said everything was smooth. The original cauldron's on a ship, any witness will go. Hoshino then killed the useless subordinate, dumping him into the sea. Barely conscious, the henchman's mocked for never realizing till now. Broken and bleeding, he begs Hoshino for mercy, but Hoshino's done paying him. Best if no one survives by morning. The ship sails toward its new home. Inside, a girl waits for the old mustache guy. Now they get to spend the rest of the night together. The woman's itching to try out some ideas. She cracks the whip to shame Hoshino, who honestly seems into it. Each strike just makes him happier. He's thrilled to be bossed around by this extra. Seriously, this guy is beyond weird. But all of this, just a simulation on the rival's tech. Hoshino took off his glasses, totally lost. The guy he offed is suddenly standing there unharmed. Hoshino's totally baffled. He can't grasp the betrayal. Now the henchman won't ever trust him again. He quickly collected loads of evidence against Hoshino. The henchman lived thanks to our protagonist, who stared right into the camera. The henchman declared, "Everything's in Yuto's hands now." That's exactly the proof our hero had for the cops. Nana's secret spilled too, and she's clueless how he pulled it off. She planned to tank the company so her dad could buy shares dirt cheap. Our protagonist caught her, but the dim-witted officer didn't catch on. He just brushed off the evidence. Our protagonist was left stunned. Then Yuto noticed the minister's dirty hands. The minister pulled every string here, and now he points the finger at our protagonist. He told the cops to arrest him. Furious, Yuto vowed to clear his name, but the minister claimed he'd already checked the facts. Our protagonist has no powerful allies. The police are coming for him. If he fights, he might get shot. A group of cops stormed in. They're elite, wielding heavy firepower, holding everyone at gunpoint as the minister panicked, calling it treason. A senior police inspector burst in to save the day. He's heading up this whole mission. Now the minister's plot against our hero is exposed, so it's payback time. The inspector, thrilled to find our protagonist, treats him with extra suspicion now. Knows the guy and knows he messed up by poking around. The inspector panics and calls the National Guard for help. Losing authority drives the minister wild, but he keeps bluffing. He brags about his link to the prime minister, threatening their jobs. He just gets a sharp kick to the chest, silencing him instantly. The prime minister steps up, apologizes to our hero, and promises punishment for the corrupt thief. Speaking for the state, he apologizes to our guy again. Punishment is coming for everyone involved. The schemer panics, yelling it's all fake and he was framed. Now our hero gets to fix where he once messed up, placing the needle right. No anesthesia this time, and it hurt a lot. The prime minister saw it happen and praised our hero's talent. Now he's got urgent things to say. Pain behind him, he recovers fast. The chief asked about the insect. Yuto says the substance is rare but powerful. It can take control over someone's actions. The victim becomes a puppet split, chasing two goals at once. Our guy never guessed Fukami reported to the prime minister. Whoever used the parasite must be after the prime minister. Yuto checks the old man with his unique eyes. No infection found. After Fukami's trouble, security was doubled immediately. The prime minister wants to publicly celebrate our star, but with so much chaos, the government keeps it just a formal honor. That's plenty for our protagonist, who beams with pride. The May group grabs headlines, gaining fame and value. Exactly what he was after. He aced the final mission, and now peeing won't be a problem. At last, he can finally relax a little. Yuto noticed the drink tastes different. His secretary claims she made it just for him to boost energy. That made him start to worry. He could sense something sneaky from his secretary. Sadly, a visitor cut their moment short. The woman told him to visit her later. She wanted to try new things with him. Their odd guest was from another tech company. The prime minister will gift our hero a rare treasure. Yuto's set to claim the treasure right away, but the treasure sits somewhere tough to access. They have to travel abroad and need a fluent interpreter. Yu is growing tense, and the weirdo said real skill matches real responsibility. Close to that border, a woman does laundry at the edge. Getting nearer, they see the landscape change. Yu notices the weirdo ogling local women. Their crucial meeting is set for 2 days' time. Until then, they plan to explore the area. Weirdo is excited to mingle, hoping to meet a stunning woman. Yu decides he'll skip the outing. He says he'll stay at the hotel. Truth is, he wants the system's new bonus. The weirdo vows to keep Mika clueless, but our protagonist brushes it off. That night, he roams the city and spots something odd. A man hassling a woman in public. The man accuses her of stirring up trouble for his clients. After being hired, a woman accused the girl of splashing water on her clothes, but she tries to say that isn't true and that the woman poured water on herself on purpose. The restaurant owner doesn't believe her and keeps humiliating his employee. Yuto already gets what's going on. That old woman is a liar. Now, the employee's money is being illegally confiscated. If she doesn't want to hand over the money, she'll have to pay with her own body. Her orphan siblings are there to witness everything. Our protagonist decided to act right then and there, protecting the poor girl from a pretty dark future. If money is what those people want, he can give them plenty of it. Tossing a few bills into do the air, he made the old woman act like a dog. Now he can leave with the girl. She thanked him for saving her, and Yuto noticed they speak the same language. The girl said she lived in his country for 3 years. Yu asked if she was sick, and the waitress said she has a liver infection but can't get treatment. Because she's poor and she still has to support her orphan siblings. The waitress started to panic because she was being chased and told our protagonist to run as soon as he found the girl. The restaurant owner started hitting her. He also threatened our protagonist with a gun, saying he had to pay 50 for what he did. Then our guy realized those men were trying to intimidate him. Even the old woman is there with them, ready to shake our boy down. Yuto isn't scared of these nobodies. He suggested they just start shooting already. So the restaurant owner, the gang leader, decided to aim for the protagonist's legs. Before anything worse happened, revealed his new skill, a dimensional safe. A bunch of cash appeared out of absolutely nowhere, and one of the bills ended up slicing that bastard's face. In that dimensional space, he can store anything within a 50-meter radius as long as it isn't alive, and it can be thrown at any target. After getting cut, the gang leader got even angrier and told his goons to finish our boy off, but their guns got smacked away by money. To our boy, these nobodies are useless. If they belong to some powerful mafia group, it doesn't matter. Our boy told the waitress to come with him if she wants to be cured of her illness. Going back to his country, she'll definitely be cured. Now, in our protagonist's room, she's going through a pretty intense procedure. Yuto's doing everything he can to keep things running smooth. His healing skills are wild, leaving the waitress seriously raising an eyebrow. The weirdo barged in with a late-night snack and caught him beside a stunning lady. He was floored by the guy's talent. That guy's a total flirt. Later, the orphans got overwhelmed by the feast. Yu told them to dig in. They shouldn't stress in at all, and Yuto had to explain everything to the weirdo. He was just curing her illness, but it's a tough story to believe. Meanwhile, the kids take the eating challenge to heart. Yuto warned them to slow down to avoid choking. The waitress is still super shy. She didn't want to land our main guy in more drama. Yuto started hunting for a steady job so she can help her family. A movie crew's filming in that country. Now the waitress works for them. Since the laws there are unique, certain odd jobs get approved. At least our hero already set her up somewhere safer. And that fool still doesn't know he met the main character. That guy keeps snapping orders since work moves so quick. The shoe goes 2 months and she'll be safe the whole time. Our guy pitched in kind words, offered to carry stuff, and the childhood friend actress wondered why he was there. She figured he came just to see her and wished he'd said so straight up. An extra barged in, asked if they were friends, then complained. Yuto messed with the schedule, but Mohabe, that's not right. Our main guy marched up to the arrogant actor. He explained he was just here for the job. He just wanted to know what it was like, but the actor only got angrier. He ordered security to throw out our boy, but his old friend refused to let it happen. Still, the extra came off super cocky. He claimed to be the lead, but was cut off as someone warned him about getting kicked out and fined if he complained. He quickly apologized, trying to show who's boss, but the director said Yuto is paying for it all. That's the same guy the actor argued with earlier, so the jerk had to put on a show, desperate not to get fired. Crowds thought it was wild, but the actor found it draining. Yo saw that attention seeker loving every second of the drama. Moha said, our hero looks like a cash cow, so the actor's busting his back not to ruin the shoot. Yuto stayed on schedule, but wanted to know why the jerk harassed his friend. Shinzuka kept quiet, and the director quickly changed topics, pretending not to know. Then, the director told our boy the plot, and Shinzuka asked if our protagonist can act, but being so close just distracted the guy, not sure if she headbutted him or bit his neck. It was bizarre. Yu's lost too. The director noticed he's a hit with women. An officer from a neighbor's army brought word of rewards and rare artifacts. Yu knew instantly all are national treasures. If such things are on offer, something bigger is hidden here. They questioned the captain more, but he said the best prize hadn't shown up. He guided the foreigners out. Yuto realized they headed for a mountain. The captain led them right into a massive cave where troops carried shiny blue rocks. Yuto spotted it quick. His system revealed it's cesium ore for car batteries. Everyone was wowed by our protagonist's knowledge. That's why the prime minister picked him. They need it badly but can't import for legal reasons. These countries are locked in a standoff, and our protagonist feels like a pawn the government uses. A group of men arrived, searching for someone. It's that same gang from earlier scenes. They claimed control and ordered our guy to beg for his life. If he doesn't, he'll face nasty consequences. The captain panics, but our protagonist stays cool. The soldiers slowly gear up to fight. They wield digging tools, easily ready to rough up the thugs. Guarding this place is tough work, but with the bandits in one spot, everything's simpler. The thugs are getting punished right now. The gang leader's full of regret. He never thought the army army would show up so fast. With the protagonist among them and hearing the punishments, they see grass problems nearby. The captain explained, "This is just one cave. Workers are handling others, but grass grows wild there. We need lots of help." Inspired, Yuto got an idea. He brought back the waitress and her brothers and asked if they'd take on the job. He'd pay her upkeep too. To inspire her, Yuto promised to back her, letting her hire help. She could sell the grass in the city. The captain let her take full charge. Overjoyed, the waitress hugged him tight. Having this work feels unreal. Yu cheered and said he'd visit often to check in. The captain interrupted, "Still more ore news to share. They can't move it out like this. It must go by the South Sea route. Our protagonist hates it. The journey's dangerous." One man approached, mentioning the parasite insect case. They'll pass through the region home to the plotters who attacked the prime minister. They have to stop there a day to get supplies. Our boy said he doesn't need everyone joining him. That only makes things more dangerous. But the weirdo won't ditch our boy now. Plus, there are loads of beautiful women here, and he's eager to keep looking around. Yuto's already stressing over him, sensing something bizarre might happen. Knowing the area, Yuto loved the coast and instantly noticed how stunning the women were. One sunbathing girl turned her gaze straight at him. Barely hesitating, she moved closer. Without a word, she kissed the protagonist's neck. Seems like someone is after her. She picked our boy to help her, which Yuto thought was wildly presumptuous. But honestly, she's gorgeous enough to get away with it. The blonde already knows the protagonist is foreign, so she told him to pretend they were together, like fellow tourists. He thought and refused. He was already busy that day. Lots of guys would step up for her beauty, but Yuto prefers to dodge drama. Even then, the mysterious girl hugged him again, shocked things ended up this way. Yu told her that move never works on him. Then he spotted the parasite infecting her, so he hurried her to his quarters. Healing her would be tougher than with Fukami. Maybe the system might reward him, but the parasite is still holding on. He wondered if the system broke. The cure wasn't finished yet. He just has to keep at it. Seriously, his door stays open. Another interruption. The extra instantly sensed drama and apologized. Now he'll have to explain again. Outside, everyone's wowed by the protagonist's skills. Joining them, Yuto snapped, "Don't be ridiculous." He told them the girl was ill and needed quick treatment on the ship. Now she's fine. She can be dropped off at the next port. The girl never thought our protagonist would use poison to fix things. Her older sister planned it all to set a trap. She could see the future, and maybe this guy is the one in the prophecy. Even so, the blonde doubted him and saw nothing special in our main guy. Huge waves pounded the ship. A whirlpool formed ahead while the author lost hope. It's time to give up on the ship. The extras freaked out, sure they'd drown at sea. Nearby, there's another vessel. Help is their only shot. A shady man fired a flare, catching the other ship's eye even though its crew was easy on the eyes. But the other ship just bailed on them. Ignoring the call for help, Yuto felt lost about why this was happening. He was told it's deadly, so reinforcements might come soon. Now, the oddball felt abandoned and tense. Our protagonist saw the whirlpool was more than it seemed. They were under attack. The blonde grilled him about how he could tell. Yuto knew they had to get ready right away. With new powers, he tried moving objects instantly. Whatever happened to that other ship drained the protagonist's strength. The blonde spotted his use of a rare vertical sea move. Maybe he's actually the one her sister meant. Weakened now, he needed some backup. But the real danger crept ever closer. Men jumped from the other ship. The blonde, more curious, wondered if Yuto could save them. The strange guy made sure everyone remembered that ship nearly left them. Still, she knew accidental deaths only made things worse. The protagonist wanted to save everyone, but not put himself at risk, so they chose to wait for the other crew to swim over. Once some came aboard, they were beat from swimming. Another ship closed in fast, but our protagonist remained puzzled. They heard it's the Coast Guard, maybe coming to bust them. The ship's almost here. Our boy knows these people caused the whirlpool and now sent a giant vessel to catch them. One extra didn't get that theory. Yu said an underwater device wrecked their signals and started the chaos. Even the blonde girl can't accept it's real. Yu's sure the device is hidden well. If they search, they'll find it. The extra said the nations get along. There shouldn't be this much trouble unless they want the ore. That risk is bigger than any reward. But Yuto thinks they want more. Enemy soldiers start coming aboard. An extra warns the protagonist to stay safe. They're unsure what these people want. Our boy wants to know for sure. The soldiers arrive friendly and their commander fast walks up, introducing himself. He asks our boy to join him for a talk on solid ground. The extra with him objects, whispering they force entry, but the commander seems clueless. He actually thanked them all for saving the troubled ship. Our hero didn't expect this. The weirdo films and streams live, quick with his gadgets. He broadcasts everything, making everyone feel slightly safer. The foreign city's mayor appears, wanting to grant our boy honorary citizenship. All eyes are on him now. A henchman asked the commander why they didn't sink the ship. He told them to wait it out. The underwater device failed. Now they'll blame that woman if things blow up. The commander calls his henchmen stupid. Satellites may have recorded it all. Honestly, they blew their shot, but the commander knows about the mind control parasites. Hope remains. Yu made it to shore, drained by a wild day. The blonde girl keeps asking if he's returning to his country, never dropping the practitioner label. Yuto is lost by her words until she reveals he matches her sister's prophecy. Trusting that vision, she viciously attacks him. Yu tries to explain she's mistaken about him. The blonde ignores him, telling him she can't wait to run into him again. Maybe fate will push them together, but he still doesn't get her meaning. Finally, he arrives home to his city, greeted by the prime minister who already knows the chaos he survived. Yu explains nothing was random. This mission's success was deliberate. It's reward time. He's crossing his fingers for cash or gold. The old prime minister says what they got is political perks from trade. Yu realizes this means sharing government secrets, something he wants no part of. He tries to clear things up when a stunning blonde woman arrives. It's the same girl who kissed him live for everyone to see. She gives a genuine apology for the chaos her actions caused. The events have forced the trade rules to be rewritten. This gorgeous blonde, turns out she's the queen next door. Just as she predicted, their paths cross again. Yu never expected to meet a queen at the beach. He starts to sweat, wondering what could happen if she says he misbehaved. She could legally hold him in her nation. Panic is rising fast. Looking dead at him, the queen demands an apology. She's just become queen, but everything's in turmoil, so she's powerless right now to fix cross-country legal messes. Still, she says with his help, she's gained huge leverage. After everything, Yuto saw they planned to take him out, leveraging that to try to dethrone the queen for meddling. He did score system points and a bonus later, not bad for surviving. He wanted that bonus immediately, but settles. Suddenly Saki calls, asking him home to visit their grandma's grave. She's swamped at work, but her co-worker offered to help right away. She'll make sure the teacher gets the news so Yu and his sister can head home together. Now the family finally had the chance to honor grandma. The dad introduces the kids and apologizes for missing past visits. Mika joined too, boldly claiming she's the future daughter-in-law and ready to marry Yuto in their private moment. Yuto snapped at his sister for inviting an outsider in. Saki explained her friend really insisted because she wanted to join this ritual. The mom kindly thanked Mika, but was shocked when Mika called her mother-in-law. After that awkward moment, Mika quickly backtracked. Spying just the one grave, Mika asked about the grandpa, and dad instantly shut down the question. Yu explained grandpa cheated, abandoned them, and vanished from their wives. Dad says Koei has cared for those graves for years and they need to see him now. Nearby, some men threaten Sata for money he owes. Dad realized Sata is Koei's son, worried, as Sata begged for more time, but the thugs, set on what they want, didn't budge. The thugs want the land as payment. They barged in to grab paperwork, forcing Sata to agree to their deal. Seeing it all, Dad intervened. Sata explained he borrowed 2 yen for his dad's treatment. Now they're threatening him. The protagonist got the picture and said he'd cover the debt himself. Flashing some cash, he said it was plenty. Dad remembered Sata and Yuto were childhood friends. A thug spotted the money and planned to scam them for more. Yu sensed their greed and said they just wanted trouble. As the thugs raised their demands, they demanded 5 times the borrowed amount. Before anyone blinked, the protagonist punched a thug while Yu told them to act respectful. Moments later, the protagonist delivered justice, slapping the thugs hard. That's the payment they'll get. After endless slaps, our boy asked how much was left to pay, and they told him it was enough. Yu said he couldn't hear the jerk's demand. If he'd known, he would have stopped sooner. Our boy's sister caught him acting shady because duct tape sealed his mouth. After that quick torture, the punks bailed. Our boy's family is rattled, saying he pushed too far, but Yuto said not to pity a criminal. Now the extorted boy is grateful and showed it by cooking everyone a fantastic meal. Saki can't wait to taste the homemade sausages. They craft them by hand and sales keep climbing, or so our boy's dad thinks. At the last festival, the mayor loved them and business soared. They sold to several restaurants and now plan online sales. Saki told Maki to try the treat too. While eating, she agreed the smoky taste is amazing. The patriarch's glad the family business thrives and promised to help if trouble comes. Saki confessed he doesn't want riches, but someone offered 2 yen for the recipe, which his dad refused. Since then, all sorts of shady folks have made offers. Our boy realized this is no accident. Criminals want the recipe. In another place, the thugs talked about it. Now, friends of theirs are pulled into this mess. Seriously, the hustler after their family is Masanori's half-brother, who might be our hero's uncle. They need a fresh plan now. Kwana said the fix is simple. They can make their own version, though big sales need strong advertising. This move is risky, so everyone has to stay in. Using the mayor's sausage as their pitch, Kwana told his crew to recruit the best people around. Now he's ready to do it all. Some folks showed up at Sata's, and he refused to sell the recipe. His aunt said it's a town problem, and that holding back profits isn't right. His greedy relatives suggested they create a company and split earnings. That way, the whole village wins. They're squeezing the boy, claiming past favors. But he remembers nobody offered help when his dad was ill. Least Least of all Kwana. They tried to change his mind. He's eager to pay big for the recipe. 10 yen sounds irresistible. The opportunists praise him, but Kwana insists it's a loan for the village, not charity. The villagers hate the news. They can't afford it. Kwana agrees to take their homes as collateral. Once the business is thriving, they'll repay easily. Right when the protagonist offers to cover Sata's father's care, the boy's shocked, but the protagonist says it's just what he should do. The recipe stays with his family. He doesn't want it. Sata's grateful, won't sell out, and Kwana's spiraling. Selling would tarnish the family name. Sata's father insists. The opportunists stomp off furious, claiming they'll create something better. Mika admits, with clever marketing, their new recipe could blow up. Our protagonist isn't worried. Kwana, that shady old man, is the only real threat. Soon, rival sausage launches. The same group boasts it won the mayor over. They're blasting this on live broadcast. They hope for huge sales, but the super low price starts a heated fight. Yet this plan seems to work dangerously well. Orders fly in non-stop. The sales numbers skyrocket just as planned. They'll soon clear their loan and humiliate that stubborn kid, keeping him down. Yuto wonders aloud if Sata's having doubts. Seeing rivals outpace him, Sata says helping his dad is enough reason to be thankful. Others' success doesn't concern him. All that matters is protecting his own living. Mika remembers meeting President Kwana and shares her news with the protagonist. The boy's parents eye how close those two are. Now, he just wants a moment with Seta. A few hours later, rude guests slam on the boy's door. He opens it to check. Sales hit major trouble. They blame Seta for trashing their image with ugly news. Online, angry reviews explode, calling those sausages terrible. Everyone's completely livid. They want Seta gone. The crowd is so mad, they're ready to wreck the boy's home. He steps in, touch that house, you'll regret it big time. Now everyone's accused of scheming against sausage sales. Mika suggested uncovering what Kawana's up to. Villagers don't buy it. They took his loans. That's why the business even happened. Saki can't believe these folks. Even betrayed, they still trust the swindler. Kwana finally arrives. Villagers admit sales keep nosediving. He knows everything and says he'll cut off support for the village. Crushing news for the jealous crowd. Kana claimed he wanted to help but got tricked by low-quality products. Now the jealous bunch are lost, still clueless about the sabotage. That sausage's image is ruined, so the project has to stop. They realize there's no cash left for repayments. Everyone begs Kwana for help. Being cunning, he tries to offer something, but our hero chucks a sausage at him. The hit knocks his wig right to the floor. Yuto announces it was all a sausage scam and the whole village got played. Kwana goes berserk from all these claims. Yuto says sales on day one soared because they bought sausages from Kwana's plant. The boy flashes a sausage he bought then, proving it didn't come from the village. Kwana sent spoiled goods on purpose to ruin their business. The bald man rages, calling it lies, but Mika exposes him as a scamming pro. Now, everyone's furious over what went down. He planned to loan these folks money, boosting his profits by selling them pigs and feed over time. They figured out they totally got played. Now comes the huge reveal, a devastating truth. Baldy looks even more nervous. Yu shared that hot springs were found, and the real plan was to build a high-class hotel for maximum profit. Drowning people in debt meant easier home buyouts. The real story breaks their spirits as the protagonist tells all. Now those jealous townsfolk finally understand everything. A formal city hall announcement is just days away. That's why the bald guy is losing it. With proof in hand, they see the scam and claim the contract's worthless. Nothing's left for Baldy. Before he can talk, he's slapped with the sausage again. It's time the outraged villagers make the scammer pay. Beating the bald man viciously, he desperately calls his bodyguards, but their pay isn't worth this risk. Their own village fell for the same trick, and now he's really shamed. He threatened court, but the villagers aren't fazed. He's clearly a crook. Now the villagers think they'll hit it big off those hot springs. The village is celebrating, and no one cares about the sausage rivalry anymore. Knowing their jealousy, Saki said it would have been simpler to keep them fooled, but her dad said people get greedy, and the worst, Kwana, deserved his fate. A stranger appeared in the middle of the crowd. Looks like the mayor plans a meeting with Sata. Some background people recognize Wakai. He's the governor's secretary. A villager checked if it's true. They aimed to build a hotel, but the man said, although the hot springs are real, there won't be one. The government's taking the land. News spread, making villagers more stressed. The land's unstable. Business plans could mean major danger. That's why everyone must leave. Sata was picked as community leader at the governor's request. Kwana was thrilled. He's convinced these villagers will always be poor. He threatened to keep collecting their loan debts forever. Acting innocent, he hid behind the governor's secretary and called the villagers dangerous. Sata offered to cover their debts and took all responsibility. The bald guy is clueless about the money, but our protagonist is the true helper. The jealous crowd is stunned by everything happening. Our hero is investing in Sata, who truly cares. He needs more workers to make extra sausages. He's eager to share his skills. Suddenly, Everyone apologized for their envy. Yuto did all this out of attachment. His ancestors came from that village. Meanwhile, the bald guy committed crimes. Police should take him in now. The secretary never hesitated. He's ready to cuff that fraudster right away. Once it's over, Yuto makes his exit to handle urgent matters. Maki admires our hero. He spotted the leader's plots from day one. She wishes to stay by our hero's side longer and forgot to tell him something. At the hotel, the secretary greeted Yuto, visibly anxious. Mumi collapsed and coughed blood. She desperately needs help. Our hero promised to diagnose her. He noticed severe fire energy inside from long-term sadness. Finally, Mumi woke up and said she must apologize. Our hero told her to rest while he clears the lingering energy from her body. She admitted the company can't sell abroad and must absorb huge losses. That company was her duty, and now Mayumi feels crushed by the failure. Our hero said she's vital. Given her story, someone is surely sabotaging them. Sooner or later, that person's true colors will show, so she should rest for a while. Our guy keeps massaging her, trying to clear out all that bad energy, but the way he's healing her is definitely a bit shady. Maki barged in, worried something dangerous might happen. Seeing the awkward scene, she shut her eyes, apologized for intruding on something private, making it tense for everyone, but promised to keep this to herself. Mayumi explained everything. She was just getting healed with our protagonist's power. This kind of healing works through massages, a bonus the company claims to give good workers. Our protagonist can't believe this is the story now. Mayumi just made this up and told our protagonist to play along. Maki's not the most skeptical, so she totally bought the story, figuring he was being tailed. Yuto asked if that was for something big. Turns out, yeah, Maki has a big reveal for him. She uncovered something crucial during her digging. Kwana is a famous scammer, always pulling the same trick. They need to learn where his inside info comes from. There's got to be another player behind this whole setup. Our protagonist doesn't seem too urgent though. His phone rang one more time. He must return to Moshia Company. Kwana's crew wants to meet with him, and our protagonist actually excited. This time, they've caught a real heavy hitter. They think he's defenseless, but they're dead wrong and about to see. A different high-ranking elder will lead this payback. He thinks our protagonist is broke, but one worker suspects he's got impressive backers. The odd old guy isn't bothered by that. He figures it's just some small-town official, no big threat. Now exports are blocked, so the company's downfall is inevitable. Our protagonist finally reached the meeting, and they're sure he hurried here out of fear. He said getting called so fast really surprised him. He noticed the teapot is white jade worth a fortune. The bizarre old man knows it's pricey and hated watching Yuto handle it, then claimed it's a knockoff and dirt cheap for some odd reason. With everyone gathered, Yuto asks what they want from him. Mayan can only export items Nakajima appraises now, paying a whopping 70% operator fee. The cut annoyed our boy, so the secretary reminded him he's missing something big. He can't control the negotiation terms here. He's stunned by their nerve, since he's the one putting in all the effort. The strange old man claims massive influence. He should be thankful to have a connection to the old man. Yuto said he doesn't need them. Then the old man asked who could be backing our boy. He suspects the director of the cultural department might be involved. Irritated, Yuto seized the old man's neck. He didn't get the hint, but our protagonist won't stand for any threats. To prove he's not bluffing, he punched a table, smashing it, and sent the jade teapot flying. Our boy caught the teapot mid-air, said it's perfect compensation, and tossed it to the freaking old man, nearly hitting the ground. Problem was, the teapot was boiling, so the old man dropped it, shattering it in a rage. The old man demanded reimbursement because he just claimed it was a cheap fake. Our boy threw 1,000 yen from his wallet, told him to buy something else, making the old man feel even worse. A revocation request for our boy's license appeared at the Prime Minister's office. It landed on his desk, with Kwana responsible for it. Someone clearly wants to mess things up for our protagonist. The Prime Minister, spurred into action by this, wants to meet the boy at once. Yuto picked up, sounding defeated. He tried to do good for the country. Now it's just backlash, maybe enough to kill his company. The Prime Minister said to be patient and promised to investigate it fully. Any corruption found will get the punishment it deserves. Excited by the good news, Yuto wanted to join in and help out. Meanwhile, the villains toast to the old man's move. They're certain the plan will soon beat our hero. Suddenly, the old man asks who the odd newcomer is. He reveals he leads regional development. There's a railway in the works. He flashes his ID, clearly piquing the old man's interest. They need him to ease negotiations there. The government guys asking for help. Land comes first, then the building starts. The corrupt nephew specializes in this. He guarantees he'll grab all the land in 2 weeks. The official breathes easier, scores help, and wants a promotion as thanks. The old man promises, if they win, everyone cashes in, and so does his promotion. Thinking of easy cash, the thugs jump right in. What the bald guy really craves is our protagonist's downfall. He's driven by dirty money and revenge. Bald Kwan is elsewhere now, offered tea, but the scent overpowers him. They explain it's a famed local brew. Bald Kwana announced he'll buy all town found land fair and square. His helpers shocked since more buyers are circling. Earlier, another executive sealed a contract with the mayor. By personally dealing with the residents, he angered the bald guy. The tea burns him, he demands to be taken home fast. Yuto's already making strong offers to everyone living there. Finding the protagonist, the bald guy demands to know his plans. Our hero claims it's random, surprised too, and questions what he's doing there. Kwana suspects our hero already knows what's coming. He tried to ask about the railway, but Yuto kept company details secret. That only made the bald guy madder. One resident said, "You're truly kind." He plans to buy the land and bring in public projects. He'd add factories for jobs, maybe even a hospital. Kwana still thinks he's a fraud, claims it's all lies. He warns everyone they're falling for a trick, selling at a loss because of the railway project. Now everyone's desperate to know if it's all true. Kwana doubles down, saying our boy's promises will never happen. Now the villagers are angry and refuse to sell. Yuto knows spilling the railway plans will only block the scam, but the bald guy's been scheming for years and still has backup plans. Now it's time to meet the mayor and talk solutions. The mayor says there are some terms to discuss too. Kwana guesses the deal and agrees to some small relief up front. Big problem. Railways are huge risks, not quick wins. Kwana says he has government friends. Promises buying from him ensures the project finishes. The mayor's thrilled, naming the price for everything. 300,000 is hefty. Even for the con man, he worries he'll lose out. He reluctantly agrees to pay up. Time to celebrate. They offer that overpowering tea again. The mayor says the smell equals his respect, but the con man hates it and struggles to drink. Their meeting finally gets disturbed. Several locals show up carrying instruments. They came to honor Kwana for buying all the fields. Turns out, this was Yuto's plan, making the con man furious, and our hero is now eyeing that railway, knowing teamwork will matter. Time to expose this con man. One of those residents is that official who spoke with the scammer's uncle. He revealed the railway's real purpose. Kwana is spinning with confusion. The plans actually form a city upgrade to help people move easily. That genius idea came from our protagonist. Trains aren't central to this project anymore. The scammer finally saw he got duped. He panics and wants to tell his uncle everything. Yuto mentioned the awful tea brewed with oil, making him freak out more. With him tied up, it's time to force him to finish all his tea. Clueless, the scammer gets even more anxious. Time to remind him. The tea's made from the rotten sausages he sold. He should recognize exactly what's going down. He soon felt sick. His tricks left many people with nothing. But now, it's payback time. Crushed. The scammer can't believe the protagonist did all this just for those extras. He thinks those folks will always stay poor. To him, they're just tools. He believes his uncle will fix things soon. Sure enough, the uncle shows up, clearly in a rush. Bald Kwana begs his uncle for help, saying it's time someone got jailed. You let the villain know he's vulnerable, but Bald Kwana brags about his uncle's top-tier connections. Then someone else pushed him to name these connections. That shook the scammer hard, since the Prime Minister himself showed up to the meeting. They all got locked up not long after. Yuto perfectly timed this thing, setting up the scammers to expose themselves. A man with glasses thanked our protagonist. He said Kwana worked for him, but claimed he knew nothing about Kwana's crimes. Grateful he's gone. The protagonist still keeps his guard up. He knows that politician isn't clean. Rumors say he's seriously ill. Our boy can diagnose at a glance, plus the Prime Minister confirmed it. The lawmaker hates blaming things on his health. While he was absent, shady people crept near power. The Prime Minister said the lawmaker rushed out of the hospital as soon as he heard the news. Now, it's time to get down to the meeting's real purpose. He's about to ask our boy for help. Unsure, he refused right away. Now, he's set to cure the illness. The reward? Keep fighting for the nation. Listeners thought this was wild, but the protagonist believes he's up for it. He told the sick lawmaker to obey him completely. Our boy will control his schedule and diet. The lawmaker swore to follow Yuto's orders. USS. A cute short-haired girl shows up. She's the lawmaker's granddaughter and suspects the protagonist of fraud, so she confronts our boy, wanting to protect her grandpa. That's the end. Enjoyed this? Leave a like. Catch you next time. Bye.